Yes, yes, yes. It is a Castworthy podcast, and we are black. That's why we're on CPT time as usual. There are three of us here today. I am Big Steve, aka Last of a Dying Breed on the X Machine, formerly known as Twitter, joined by EJ, the Savage, and VP, the Hopeful. And it is Sunday, August 4th. Damn, it's already Sunday. Already Sunday. Already August. Shit's crazy. And well, we're back. So uh normal Sunday shenanigans, lots to cover today. We will go over a little bit of political business, definitely talk about some House of the Dragons going on today, and some sports, of course. We can't live without sports, so we got to talk about it, chat about it, give our feedback. Our impact on the game is zero, but we'll make you think that it's huge. Pause. Um So, Castaway Podcast, where can you find us? Pretty much anywhere. Spotify is probably going to be the easiest because that's in your phone along with Apple Podcasts. Then you have iHeartRadio, Spreaker, a little bit of everything. Wherever you get your podcast content. If those first four don't work for you, then you're probably not going to listen. But you can also watch us on YouTube. YouTube is also available anywhere that you can download and stream information from, whether it's your phone, your TV, your computer. And you can find us on social media. And I know you're there watching the Shade Room and all that fun stuff. So it is Castworthy Podcast. On Instagram, though, it is Castworthy_podcast. You can like, share, dislike, comment, tell us you like us, tell us you hate us, and we interact. So we're here. Gentlemen, it is August 4th. We are officially in the NFL season, at least preseason, NFL preseason. Thursday night, we had the Hall of Fame game.
Bears versus Texans.
Versus the Houston Texans. And as always, had a little tingle in the dingle when that happens. The first game always gets you that way. It's just, there's nothing like, I don't know. Y'all could tell me, but like, even like NBA, Olympics. I know VP for you, it's like the royal family. When you see that shit gets you going. But like, I don't know, just the commentating of NFL football just gets me ready, man.
I mean, we talked about this before. The fact that the NFL only has a limited amount of games. It's one of those things. 17 weeks. It's 17 weeks of greatness, great entertainment. So the preseason marks the start of it all. Fantasy football talk, the fantasy football draft stuff goes out. So preseason doesn't excite me as much. It does, but I definitely get you. It's nothing like it. It's nothing like it.
Yeah, we got to see. We didn't see much. We saw some of the rookies. I saw some of the good rookies on Houston. Tight end, I forget the kid's name. He looked good. Scored a touchdown. Um, but dang, what's the Davis Mills was running quarterback for them. And they made it seem like this, like he was a rookie. They're like, oh, he's commanding the offense great. He should be. This is like his 7th year in the league. Damn near veteran status at this point.
He's a vet for sure.
Yeah, they but nonetheless, still good to see. Watch the Hall of Fame game. And when do the rest of the preseason games start? Is that today?
No. This weekend, Thursday through Saturday.
This weekend coming. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Excited for that. Super excited for that. Besides the Hall of Fame game, did you guys do anything this week? Anything fun? Anything noteworthy? Any whoring around DC? Usually when our chat is kind of dry of EJ, that means that he's climbing in and out of someone's grandma.
No, nothing exciting. Nothing exciting this week at all.
No. Same for me, man. It's been a pretty chill week.
Yeah, quiet week for me to start. School starts next week, so or the week after next. So next week I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna work tomorrow, and then I'll be off the rest of the week. So try and have some fun with the kid before he goes back to school. But we seem to dodge some major storm, hopefully,
Yeah.
major movement here in Central Florida and Orlando. We seem to have dodged a bullet with a named storm this weekend.
Hmm.
Little Debbie ended up going into the Gulf and appears to be staying west of us here in Central Florida. So
Yeah.
shout out to us, lucky us, huh, VP?
Mm, definitely, definitely, man. I mean, we getting a little rain showers from it, but I'll take that over an actual storm any day.
You haven't had a major storm since you've been a homeowner, have you?
Yeah, when we had I mean, it wasn't a major when we had that. It was like a cat 1 that hit back in 2021. That storm
Okay.
that hit like in October or whatever.
All that late. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So we had that, and we had some flooding and stuff that happened, but for the most part we were okay.
I just can't sleep when the storms come. Like when I was a renter, I used to be able to knock out through the storm.
Hmm.
But now because I know the cost of shit,
Yeah.
when the storm comes around, I can't sleep. I'll be up all night or all day whenever it hits the location, monitoring damage. I'll be there with a calculator quick.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but glad that we don't have to deal with that. You guys been getting rain up there, EJ? I heard that in Connecticut they were getting rain, so I don't know if that's too far north, but were you guys impacted at all by
No,
any
we
storms?
had we had storms the last couple of days, Friday and Saturday. They had these free festivals here. So Shaka Khan was supposed to perform Friday night, and then Saturday night was Sheila E. But both got rained out, and there was some strong gusts of wind yesterday. I was outside getting some work done on a car, and that it was pretty strong. It was pretty windy, but it stopped. It was a lot of rain. We needed it though. It's been dry up here, for the grass and all of that kind of stuff.
Indeed, indeed. I would have liked to see Sheila E. She's pretty dope. She's pretty dope, but you
Hmm.
missed her. Um, Olympics. You guys been watching the Olympics at all? I've been watching. I've been glued to it. I wake up, watch the Olympics. It seems like I don't know, man. Something about it. I don't know if I'm the only one. I think I'm not because I see E in our chat, but it seems like he's glued to the Olympics too. Like it seems like whenever the Olympics comes on, it's just a thing. Like it's probably one of the only things that runs in my house or on the TV for me until it's over. And I just watch stuff that I'm not normally watching. I was watching archery yesterday, but I used to do archery, so I was watching archery yesterday, diving. Obviously all the swimming. Gotta love the swimming joints; those are good to watch. I can never catch the beach volleyball though.
Yeah.
I caught that.
I caught glimpses of it on the internet, but I can never catch the match. Matter of fact, I'm
Yeah,
gonna look up when it plays
I,
again. Y'all go
I'm
ahead.
not. I'm not as excited as I used to be with the Olympics. I don't know what happened, but yeah.
I
I mean,
love
I
it,
lo-
man.
I love track and field for sure. I think I just keep an eye on the medal count now. At this point, trying to just keep an eye at the medal count.
Yeah, I like watching. I mean, it's one of those. It's once every 4 years. Like, my wife likes to take a look at the like she be watching like the world championships and like the college matches and stuff like that. So she's more like for the gymnastics and the like the big track events. But for me, I only watch the Olympics. So, you know, um, it's something I try to watch. Make sure I catch all the stuff that I care about, gymnastics, the swimming, and stuff like that. And then I have the TV on during the day when other stuff is happening. So I might catch rowing or like women's volleyball or something like that. Like I found myself watching U.S. versus Serbia in court volleyball, the women, and it was like it went down to the wire. So it was a very, very good match. Serbia had this woman on their team who's like super tall, and I mean defense was blocking everything. setups. She was like coming off the top rope basically because she's so damn tall, and she was a problem, And the commentators were like, going into this Olympics, the U.S. knew their biggest challenges was going to be China, who they barely beat like a couple days before, and then they had to play Serbia, which was their second biggest challenge in their next match, and they barely beat them. So they were saying things look, they look open now for them, but those two big hurdles for them. So it was interesting. I like the beach volleyball better than the court volleyball as well, because I can't, like, it's hard to follow because there's so many bodies moving around. Like, I can't usually tell who's doing what or whatever, because some of them be fake jumping and stuff like that to throw off the defense. So that's one thing that makes me like the beach volleyball better, is because I can see what's happening.
Right. That's why
I like court volleyball. I like court volleyball better because it seems like it's more aggressive than the beach style. Like
it is.
It just seems like it's more spikes and more aggression.
Yeah, you have to assume they probably get better leverage off of a hard floor versus off of the sand. Apparently, the Brazil beach volleyball match is happening right now, and for the life of me, I cannot find it on my guide for my television as we're speaking. I do have Peacock.
So use Peacock, because Peacock has like, how they have like home, whatever.
Shout out to Peacock.
One of the tabs is just Olympics, and you can literally like click through to find like whatever's live. And they have one feature on there that's a multi-view, and you can watch like 4. It's kind of like how like on a Sunday Ticket, how they have the joint where you can put up like 3 or 4 different games.
Yep.
You get the audio from one, but you're kind of watching all 4. You can do that as well on Peacock.
Peacock, send the check. VP just shouted y'all out. Send the check.
Say less. I'm on Peacock right now. I'm about to find it. But I always watch it, and the thing that's sticking out to me this year, which I guess it's not new, it's kind of been ongoing, is the amount of black athletes that are just like killing shit. Especially when you watch like track and field. Like, I've been watching the women's track and field hundreds, and I don't mean like the Jamaican ones. I mean like Black Americans.
No, I'm just saying that.
I don't mean like Ethiopians.
I'm saying where you been. It's been that way, depending on the sport.
Yeah, but we're seeing like yesterday we saw in the women's 100, we got silver and bronze in the women's 100. We're starting to see women's United States black athletes medaling in multiple places on these sports, as opposed to just kind of showing up and making it to the finals and stuff. They almost had, if TT would have played, or TT would have ran better in her semis, she probably would have made it. She was very close to making the finals, and who knows what could have happened. I mean, but shout out to the girl from St. Lucia. She was 19 years old, man, in that women's 100, and she took off like a bat out of hell, yo. She's a beast.
I don't know if she's, because a lot of times there are women from that live and train in the US but have roots or have gained status in other countries, and they run there to either get a better shot, or they actually just want to run for their nation. So I mean, because my homegirl that was in high school with ran for Team Jamaica, but I mean she went to high school with me. So
and then also think of the Olympics, like when they like something that they say about the Olympics that is actually not true, which is like, this is the world's best athletes, et cetera, and it's not. Because like, you look at an event like swimming, for example, right, where how you compete at the world championships determines who makes the Olympic teams, right? And I was watching the final for I want to say it was like the women's 100 free, and they were saying that there are 4 women who didn't qualify for the US team at Worlds, and their times were
times of what better.
He probably got a plane flying over him or some construction going on. Yeah. I found update. I have found the Brazil versus Australia women's beach volleyball match.
My man has not cared about anything said in the last 5 minutes until it was found.
I'm a fan of beach volleyball. Is that okay with you, sir?
But yeah. So I was saying like they have faster times than like some of the women who were in the final at the Olympics. But because you only can bring so many players per country, there are people who are left off of the Olympic team, even though they got better scores than some of the people who made the Olympics from other countries or whatever, you know. And so you're really not watching the best in the world. You're watching the best who qualified for their country at
Nation.
the worlds, you know.
Shout out to Peacock.
Yeah, and
It's
another
tricky.
thing about that too, though, you also got to remember it all depends on who was the best athlete that day. You know what I mean? They, whoever you might be the best, talent wise, but are you the best conditioned? Have you been training? Because we saw Shikari, place second, in a 100. But I was thinking, in my opinion, it looks like more recent time she's been training more for relays and longer distances. Because had that been a little bit longer of a race, she would have caught her. You know what I mean? So, and we know she's been more focused on the one as of lately, being anchor or being, third leg or whatever it is. So, you could be the best. It just might not be your moment in that moment, So even if you're qualifying to get there, you could be this person or that person. It's just all about did you come, at your best that day. So that so makes it tricky too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, definitely shout out to the old girl from St. Lucia. It also, to me at least, when I watched it, it seemed like old girl from like the girl from St. Lucia just ran like the perfect race. I mean, she got off the block like fast, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And in a race that short, like all that
She
stuff
did the same
matters.
in semis too. She was on it in
Yeah.
semis too.
hmm So in 100 meter, a race that's going to be 10 seconds long, like that, whatever time it took to get off the block or whatever, that meant something. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
so, you know, um, so yeah, man. I mean, that's a great point you make. Like sometimes it's just that day. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Only problem is it's that day every 4 years. Like you were
Right.
talking about off Mike.
Exactly.
Julian Alfred. Julian Alfred is the girl's name. Just want to make sure that we put a name with it because we keep saying old girl or the girl from St.
Yeah.
Lucia. Julian Alfred,
Julian.
19-year-old, and it's the first medal that St. Lucia's ever
Gold
gotten,
medal. Gold medal.
and it's a gold.
Mhm.
hmm
Um, and so shout out to them. Shout out to her for being 19 years old, and what they were talking about, and they've been talking about it all weekend that I've been watching. Like yesterday, I watched the 400 mixed, men's female,
Oh, that was crazy.
Yeah.
and that was
Crazy.
dope. And we had an anchor for United States, young lady. She was 19 years old, and in the semis, she took off like a bat out of hell, and she ran him out the gym. And then in the final, same thing. She was up. She had to be. She had about a 2.5 second lead on
Said about 30
on.
meters.
Yeah, she was way up. And then damn it, I forget the woman's name, but she got tracked down, man. It was like the Terminator running behind her. Like Jason, she turned around and Jason was there. And as they were commentating, they were saying what the young lady that was commentating was saying was at 19 years old, you're thinking, I got to get this lead and then I'm just going to hold it. Whereas somebody who's got a little more seasoning knows that I don't have to be at my best right now. It's going to be that home stretch. And that's kind of where you could see, like, our anchor, you could see she panned down at the end, and then she got tracked down when everybody else turned the jets on, like sort of like in Fast and Furious when he hit the nos too quick, and he's like, too soon, Junior, and then
Yeah.
was,
And
so
and what's crazy is, I mean, I know they got a world record and they care about stuff like that with the breaking records and things like that. But you saw in the, I think it was the semi, I want to say, when they took off and she had that huge lead, you know, a lot of like more seasoned Olympians, like you said, would know, yeah, leave some in the tank for the final. So then
mhm.
I got a 30-meter lead. This is a semi. I've already finished first. Let me power it down and let me put it into third gear, cruise into the tape, and then we're gonna give him the business at the final, and she didn't do that. And I wonder if, especially since she's young, if she went in thinking 30-meter lead, whoo, gold medal gonna look nice, and the other person, like you said, Steve, Fast and Furious, like too soon, Junior,
Mm-hmm.
and they shifted into fifth gear, and she's stuck
Gone.
in fourth.
Gone. I want to make sure, there's a couple of people that need some major shout outs. My girl Katie Ledecky, swimming. She's an absolute beast. I think she's 29 years old, and she came out today and said she's not ruling out showing up in
I think she's
2028.
27.
Is she 27?
I believe she's 27. I'll look it up real quick. Go ahead.
Okay. She said she's not ruling out 2028 as
27.
showing up. She's 27. Okay. And I think she's got 5 golds this year already.
Mhm.
You could check that. I could be wrong. But she's a beast. And then of course our girl Simone Biles. Simone Biles comeback, her get back is better than anything I think that we've seen in any type of pro sports, any type of Olympics, anything like that. Like, they gave her so much bullshit last year for,
Katie
not
got
last year. I'm
4
sorry.
medals.
Katie got 4. Okay.
4 medals, 2 gold, 1 silver, 1 bronze.
Okay. Can you check Simone while you're in there? Simone Biles is she sat out last time because she had some mental health issues going on, and they try to kill her, of course, right? The young black girl that's supporting or representing the United States sits
Simone,
out.
3 gold.
3 gold. We don't care about her mental health. We care about whether or not she's gonna, slave for the United States and do her black job. This time she pops up, and she's great. She's unstoppable. You're seeing the best of the best. Like, she looks like the best. She's looking like the GOAT, and she's out there talking her shit. Historically, she's been pretty quiet. Let me get in, do my routines, and get out. This year, she's talking her shit. She said, I'm the GOAT. People call me the GOAT, so I got a GOAT chain. I got a GOAT stuffed animal. So it is what it is. I'm here, and I'm making it happen. So shout out to Simone Biles, man. She's killing it. She's absolutely killing it. She deserves all of her flowers.
Nah, definitely, man. She's been an assassin, and all of the things that she's had to go through, and the personal adversity, even with people coming for her relationship, and and how all this is gonna affect her career. And I hope her and that young man that plays for Green Bay are still thriving and doing their thing and pushing each other.
Simone Biles' husband.
Yeah, Jonathan. Wow, that's disrespectful.
Facts. I mean, shit,
look,
man.
Nobody gonna know him, Steve.
I would be over there.
But nah, I mean,
well, he plays for the
the
Bears,
thing-
by the way, now.
Exactly.
Oh,
like,
wow.
like remember when we were talking about it was a couple years ago on pod, and something came up about George Clooney,
Jonathan Owens,
and I was like, yo, George Clooney wife, like she not no trophy wife, like she's a human rights lawyer, boo boo boo. She does you like nobody don't know her. She's George Clooney's wife.
That's true.
I mean, listen, when you got you got a spouse that's amazing, and you comfortable in your skin, I mean, he ain't complaining. Shit.
Nah, look, they said part of the deal that he signed with the Bears was that he would be able to be away from camp to go support her with the Olympics. Like, he said, if that's not in the deal, he's not signing. So you got to give him,
and they don't give that king no credit for that, though.
Gotta give him his credit. And lots of video came out. Like, I was watching it live. You see him over there with a notepad, keeping tabs of the scores and shit. Like, he being hubby, man. He doing his thing. That's black love in his finest.
And he's probably getting some good training over there. I mean, and camp I don't know that women's camp per se, because when you got to come in and hit, that's kind of a little, detrimental. But I mean, he should be all right.
He over there eating croissant, and chilling
in KFC.
And KFC.
Paris got some good food, man. It's just
that's what I'm saying.
They still smoke in restaurants.
Yeah,
still.
D Wade said, D Wade's over there doing the basketball commentary, And he was like, when he got there, the first place he ate was KFC, and I'm like, my guy, you're in like
Listen,
one of
we
the
don't
food capitals of the world, yo.
respectfully. We stopped listening to D Wade a long time ago.
Who?
Me.
Okay, I still
Wow.
listen to him. I like D Wade.
Yeah, we don't have a choice to listen to him when he's doing the sideline reporting, but
KFC. Come
you
on,
know
bro.
what? I'm not mad at him. I probably would ask the reason, and I probably understand the reason, because everyone says that when you go abroad, that stuff tastes different because it doesn't have the additives and stuff like that. So maybe that was his reason for it, was to try and taste
It's
it. It
his
wouldn't be
first
my
time
first. It wouldn't
around.
be my first.
It's his first
Wouldn't
time
be my
around
first.
the world. He's been on Olympic teams. He's
Right.
been all over Europe. I mean,
That could be the other reason why the first thing was KFC. He'd be like, man, I've had croissants and little French women. I've eaten that. Like, I'm gonna go
But
get me some.
this is the thing.
little French woman.
If we went if we went to Paris, right, for the Olympics, we probably was on a 12-hour flight. The food on the plane was nasty. So we like, man, I gotta get some to eat. You don't know where you want to eat. You just landed. Like, I know KFC. Boom, let me get that. Tastes like home. Whatever. Put something on my stomach, and then we'll figure it out like the rest of the way. Right? D Wade flew to Paris private, which means the food was on point on the list. It's not like he was like, oh my God, that food was terrible. I need to eat something. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you don't think everything nice is packed? It's the Olympics. So he probably was looking for the like for me, if I'm hungry like that, I get somewhere. What got the shortest line? Even if I'm not hungry like that, I don't like waiting, yo. They'd be like, yo, the chicken tenders got the shortest line. Give me the chicken tenders. Maybe that's what
maybe.
But it is also D Wade. We've seen that he is wilding in retirement, like wilding.
Mm-hmm. And one thing I saw this yesterday, and I wanted to mention it when Steve brought up Katie Ledecky before we get off the Olympics or whatever. And not to turn the conversation political, we're not going there yet. But you hear a lot of people who shit on immigrants or whatever. But Suni Lee, who is a gold medalist for the United States last Olympics, this Olympics, her people are immigrants. They're Hmong.
I want to stay there too.
Hmong refugees or whatever from Laos. And Suni Lee is here winning gold medals for this country. And same thing with Katie Ledecky. Her people immigrated. Her grandfather immigrated from Czechoslovakia, and here she is dominating the world in swimming, winning gold medals for the United States or whatever. So people shit on immigrants or whatever, but they help make this country like great. You know what I mean?
Well, hey, about 500 so years ago, there were a bunch of immigrants that were brought here illegally against their will and built 80% of this country, called Africa.
No doubt.
And they're running in the Olympics right now.
And we run everything. Entertainment, sports, fashion, all of that. So America don't have shit to itself.
Do you think that Laosha and other countries, when they see like Asians representing the United States, are like, fucking sell out? Like,
nah, depending on what country it is, they probably like, good for you. Send me a ticket. Get me out of here.
Yeah, you made it.
Yeah, depending on what country.
If for like people like Suni Lee, you mean?
Yeah, well, it's not just her. I mean, there was a Asian swimmer that was in the 4-leg yesterday. She was the anchor and they won. So I'm wondering, like, if you're watching, like, damn, why is she not swimming for us?
Yeah, depending on the country.
I think depending on the country. Like if you're like wherever Embiid is from, you got to feel like it's a slap in the face that he just keeps trying to I
wonder if that's why he keeps getting booed.
Yeah, because he first agreed to play for wherever he's from. I can't remember where he's from. What African nation?
I thought, no.
Is it Congo?
Congo. Cameroon.
Cameroon. Yes, he agreed to play for Cameroon, and then he never went. Then he got French citizenship as a special. He got like a special French citizenship and agreed to play for them. and then he got his American citizenship, and here he is. And it almost seems like, you know how people say, like, people criticize LeBron saying he's ring chasing. It seems like Embiid is just essentially medal chasing, you know. And so because he's probably never
That
going to win a
doesn't.
ring, but
Yeah, that
but
doesn't surprise me. But Embiid is also that type of dude. Like he just that dude, man. I
but
don't
they say
know,
that
man.
about Bam Adebayo too, because Bam can play for where is he from, or his people? They're from
Congo.
uh
Nigeria, maybe.
I thought it was Nigeria, but
Nigeria.
I'm trying to look it up real quick.
I got you. Go ahead, tell us
Oh
about
shoot.
Bam. I'll look it up.
No.
Bam Adebayo is, let's see, his parents. Well, he's from Newark, New Jersey. So there's that.
His people,
But
his people are from Nigeria.
nice try, America. He's from Newark, dog. That's different. Like I can see if he was born there. You know what I mean? Like at least
Yeah.
Embiid was born in Cameroon. So I would expect like, yeah, you're one of us, dog. You're one of us. And then they're like, he's American, Cameroonian, and French. No, dog, you are from
Well,
Cameroon.
he's slowly becoming the arch. He's slowly becoming the storybook textbook villain of everyone's
Yep.
sports story. You know what I mean? He's even surpassing Draymond, and he quietly might have been worse than Draymond as he had the most texts. You know, and he's out there literally injuring dudes, and then it's like the stupid comments that he's making not only in the NBA but in Olympics and
Abroad, yeah.
just doing dumb shit. Like he's becoming a real liability.
Yeah, I didn't catch that you had like y'all had flipped it back to Embiid. And I'm thinking, like, when did Bam do all of this shit?
Oh no.
It's like, not my man's. I mean, he's undersized. I be hating that, but no, I ain't do that.
But nah,
Pat
That's
Riley
I
don't
think
let that happen.
but no, I think you're right, EJ. Like, you know, I'm somebody who liked Embiid, you know what I mean? Like the whole trust the process, and felt bad for him early with all the injuries and things like that. And then it seems like he is like slowly bringing himself to, like you said, that Draymond status where he just like, yo, I can't stand this guy. Like seeing all the stuff that happens in playoffs with the, you know, injuring guys and dirty plays and stuff like that. It just it's out of pocket, man. And if he wasn't who he was, you know what I mean? Because you can see how the league slowly started, you know, to punish Draymond, and it was partly because he was on
Curtailed
a
for him.
great team, and it was like,
Yeah.
yeah, we want to let these guys cook, you know, and stuff like that. And as Embiid gets a little bit more seasoned, and he starts coming down in terms of status, you're probably going to see the league, you know, start hammering him. But for right now, I don't really seem like they're doing much.
No, not at all. I mean, he's done in this last in the playoff series with the Knicks. You know, this dude was repeatedly doing dirty things. Injured Mitchell Robinson, injured Bogdanovich, and Boyan, whatever. I always mess his name up. But you know, this dude, he's just, yeah. I mean, it's nasty. And even when you're in the Olympics, you're talking crazy. You know, I don't know, man. I hate to switch back to NBA real quick, but I don't know, Philly. You know, and it seemed like they were kind of teetering on moving him at one point, but you know, now you're kind of locked in and you paid all this money for these guys. Not only is he an injury liability, but he's a liability mentally. So I don't know what they're gonna get going forward. And you know, still a lot of Olympics left to be played. You know, as far as you know, we don't want to wish injury on anybody, but you know, he's got a history.
There is a lot. There is a lot of time left to go. Two things I want to talk about before we leave the Olympics really quick. One is congratulations to I'm gonna probably butcher it, but Imaine Khalif, the women's Algerian boxer that won gold. She went in there and punched this bitch in her face so hard she said, "Nah, that's a dude. That's got to be a dude in there, yo." Imagine you get punched in your face so hard you think it's a whole nother gender. Nah, no, that's not even a human. That is not a human. So shout out to Imaine Khalif from Algeria. And last thing I want to say is fuck LeBron fans, because LeBron fans want to make everything
What?
about let me get there, let me cook, let me land. LeBron fans want to make everything about LeBron versus Jordan. So all we hear this Olympics is, oh, this dream team or this team is better than the dream team. And the competition, there's so many more NBA players that they're going against. So it's going to be so great if LeBron wins this gold. But if he doesn't, he went against so much more competition than Michael Jordan and them in the Olympics. Like, dog, what the fuck are we talking about? It's like you can make people that are Americans root against America. I'm sitting there watching a Puerto Rico game, and I'm like, damn, Puerto Rico was in it. And I'm over here like, I'm fucking American. These fucking LeBron fans got me wanting America to lose because they want to try and throw LeBron in against Michael Jordan over the Olympics. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, we can't just be happy for the Olympics. We can't just, like, for once be like, all right, LeBron is great. That's it. Not, oh, LeBron's great, but he's greater than Jordan because he's playing against more NBA players in the Olympics. All right, dog. We get it. We get it.
Yeah.
Y'all love him. Dan LeBatard, all these niggas, Paul Pierce, and then all their fans want to, gravitate to it and then forward the videos. Yo, look what Paul Pierce said. Oh, look what Dan LeBatard said. Suck my nuts.
You don't never have a Paul Pierce commentary coming from me because I don't respect anything that dude says. Like, Paul Pierce is like one of the biggest haters on the planet or whatever. And like, not even trying to have a Jordan LeBron conversation, but Paul Pierce hates LeBron because LeBron was his Michael Jordan, didn't let him eat. He got his one and never got nothing else. You know what I mean? And he's mad about that or whatever. And he just says ludicrous shit. I mean, he said that his career was better than D Wade. Like, forget the LeBron hate. Like, that's enough for me to know that this dude to know what the hell he's talking about. Because, like, I can't see. I mean, I get it. Like, you think that you're good because everybody thinks they're good, but like, you can't be an analyst and then say something as stupid as that.
Yo, Australia is beating Brazil.
Yeah. And real quick, one other thing I wanted to say real quick about the boxing controversy is that this kind of thing that you're seeing with this woman at the Olympics with the boxing, this is exactly where all of this like anti-trans stuff was going to lead us, right? Because from what they're saying is that this woman is basically a woman who, instead of having two I think it's two X chromosomes or something like that, she has one X and one Y, which some women are born that way. But she was born a woman, right? She was assigned female at birth because of her parts or whatever,
genitalia,
and because of that, people just say, okay, she's a woman. But then it turns out, well, she actually has an X and a Y, even though she was actually she has a vagina, essentially. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna start getting to the point to where you're gonna have, it's getting time for a wrestling match or whatever. We got to have some person inspecting your daughter's lady parts or whatever
chromosomes
to make sure she's a woman in high school and shit like that. Like, this is the kind of we got to do chromosome tests before sporting events and these kind of, and this is where this shit was going to lead us, because we are trying to police a problem that, or we're trying to come up with a solution to police an issue that doesn't really seem to be a problem or a widespread one or whatever, where there aren't that many trans people competing in women's sports or whatever, but people elevate this thing to make it seem like it's more of a problem than it is.
Well, nobody had a problem with her losing.
I don't care.
Exactly. And when she was losing, nobody said shit. And then all of a sudden she won, it's like, whoa.
I think we're conflating the two things, because it's not that it's more of a problem for me. Just at the end of the day, if it is a problem, don't let it be a problem. If it's same gender people competing in the same sport, keep it that way, because we can't act like when it happens, and it doesn't matter how often it happens, we can't act like it's not an advantage one way or the other. And that, it just is what it is.
My thing is, my whole thing with that is you just have to draw a line in the sand. right? And I know that nobody wants to because they want to violate science in this way, but every other way they want to love science. But you have to draw a line in the sand somewhere and just say, look, if you were born this, then you compete here. If you were born this, you
That's
compete
it.
here. No one cares how you identify. None of that, right? And that's what happened here is if you had that, then there's no problems. You can't say, oh, well, she's X and Y. Who gives a fuck if she's X and Y? Because nobody's talking about Brittany Griner, who's
The
transitioning right now.
the
Nobody's
thing the
talking
thing
about all the women that take, the performance enhancing drugs or the steroids to throw off their cycles when they get into these events and stuff like that. None of them are talking about them taking extra testosterone so that they can perform better. No one's talking about any of that. It's just this one boxer, and nobody said shit until she won the gold. Leading all the
so
way up, we haven't heard her name not one time as being a problem. She wins. She beats this bitch's ass in less than 40 seconds. She quits. And now all of a sudden it's an issue. Come on, man.
so I think what people who are advocates of trans or gay people are kind of one of the points they're making is that like what they're talking about is science, right? Because there are people who are born differently or whatever, where you have somebody like this person who has an X and Y chromosome, even though they have they have genitalia for women, right? Or for a woman or whatever. You have a guy like Michael Phelps, for example, who doesn't produce lactic acid or whatever, which gives him an advantage in the pool or whatever. You know what I mean? There are people who do you remember that one runner a few years ago, the one who her body produced more testosterone, even though she was a woman or whatever, and they disqualified her, or they told her she had to take testosterone blockers because her natural body, the way she was born, was giving her an unfair advantage or whatever. It's like these kinds of things that people were saying is that there are things that that people are born with for whatever reason, genetic mutations, etc., that making these anti-trans laws are going to discriminate against these people. You know what I'm saying? And here we are. Now this
Yeah, but
woman
you're
has
but you're
won.
talking about you're talking about one-offs, right? You're talking about like a recall car. Like if I
That's
go
how it
out and
starts, though,
like,
Steve. That's the
but
point
what
I'm making.
no, but if you produce 100,000 Hyundai Sonatas and
Mhm.
5 of them have a bad transmission, you do a recall, you take care of those 5. Those are one-off situations. But when you're talking about the basis of it, the minute you start to dive that far into it, or the minute that you start to allow it and you have to dive that far into it. So if you just draw a hard line and say, hey, it's this or it's that, then you're done, right? Because if I have a daughter, which I don't, I know EJ does, but if I have a daughter, no matter who I am not allowing a full contact sport that my daughter participates in for her to be dealing with someone who was born a man. It's not happening. I would be on the sidelines screaming. I would be having the same type of issue that these people are having. The difference is, in my opinion, they have no leg to stand on. This is reality. I mean, if that's the case, you can have EJ, who's fucking 6'3", 280 something pounds, go out and put a
EJ is
wig
not
on
6'3".
and say he's a woman.
He is definitely not 6'3".
That's the problem, because we talk about rights, and we talk about people having the ability to have rights, but then there becomes a point in time where you have to realize you're sacrificing the rights of someone else to bolster someone else's rights, and in that sense,
Or the
it's
safety of someone else.
right. And in that sense, you're talking about, well, it's just few far in between, and this, that, and the third, and it's not fair to someone who might be a young lady to have to lose or subject themselves to something where we're not talking about somebody that had a special birth, or we're talking about someone that was born a man with physical male traits and has a clear advantage. And when it happens, it doesn't matter how it happens. I understand the implications of how things might bleed over scientifically, how they might try to do that, but Olympic, body and other sports bodies, they've gotten it right so far. And again, if this young lady has been born a woman and been placed in the female category for years. Sure, the propaganda, the talk, all of that is dangerous. It's going to happen. She's probably been dealing with it her whole life, but it's not the same as, someone who was born a male with male attributes and male advantages claiming to now be a woman to take advantage of female leagues and that stuff. And I'm with Steve. There has to be a line. We can't, just because we're trying to be inclusive on many things, we can't disregard everything. You can't, because when you give someone else a leg or something else, you might be disregarding that other person in that end result. And you can't speak from a place of privilege. If you, like, to Steve's point, if you don't have a daughter and you have a daughter that's in contact sports, I'm sorry, right? It's you're speaking from a point of privilege when you're saying it doesn't bother me, doesn't matter. Nah, man. When you see in those MMA competitions, those rare moments, why they might be rare, sure, those rare moments when they're taking extreme punishment because they're fighting someone that they shouldn't be, it's not right. It's not. It's just not right. There's no cutting corners about it. It's not.
But let me say two things. One, the examples that you guys are not even examples. They're more hypotheticals. They don't happen. They're not happening.
They have happened.
They have happened. They have happened. Stop.
What I mean.
Stop.
What
they
I mean
have
is,
happened.
Okay. Let me clarify. What I'm talking about is, like, you guys are talking about stuff that's happened like in high school and stuff like that or whatever. But you haven't seen these things happen in professional sports.
Yes, we have.
Happened in MMA.
They have.
It's
Yes,
happened in MMA.
they
I don't watch
have.
MMA, so I didn't know that.
That's what we're saying. You can't speak from the a privilege to talk about the frequency. We get it. Yes, it doesn't happen 50,000 times out of 50,000. No, but it's that every one in the blue moon that happens that should just not happen. And we can't say we care for all and we want to protect the rights of all. That's like me saying, okay, well, only one person that identifies as queer got beat up today in this town. Hey, it's a good day because it was only one. No, that one life, that one person does matter. And that one person that might be subjected to being taken advantage of because of this, they matter too. We can't have it both ways. We can't be able to say it only matters for this and it don't matter for the person that's getting it. While it happens, again, we agree, it happens maybe few and far in between, but I agree with Steve. You have to draw the line somewhere. There has to be a line somewhere.
I would say, and if it's happening in high school sports, though, that's probably more important to me
even
than
worse.
in pro sports. Yeah,
I
think in pro sports you have a choice. You can quit. But in high school now, if you do tell this child, "Hey, you either fight this boy or you quit," you could be changing the trajectory of this child's life, or vice versa, right? Like it's just. You have to at some point you have to regulate, right? And even if it's something, when you're talking, even if you get past gender parts, right, how they were born, if you start talking about the chromosomes, you start talking about the testosterone levels, then you have to hard code those numbers in and say, hey, if your testosterone level is over X, you cannot compete as a woman, period.
And how's that fair, though?
But factually, hold on, two things.
How's that fair?
Two things factually, right? In any Olympic sport, no matter what the gender is, if you have, and they do testing, so let's say boxing, for example, no matter what the gender is, even if you're a male and your levels are too high, that is cause for a pause for people to peel back, because they just have different levels. That's USADA testing, that's world testing, that's just a standard. So I mean, Steve has some point of merit to his madness on that point. On the other piece, in high school, there are sports like wrestling that different genders can compete against one another, but it's a choice. But it becomes deceitful and it becomes hurtful when you're having a person with male attributes competing in only female sports. Now, if it's wrestling and a young girl chooses to wrestle a boy, that happens. And sometimes they win, and that's great. But it becomes a problem when you're in a female only sport and you're dominating and you're potentially hurting someone, and the competition is way differently. Again, I think we're all saying not one size fits all for anybody or anything or any example. But when we have a clear cut We have a clear-cut understanding that this person was biologically this, and they have these advantages. We have to draw a line somewhere. There has to be lines. There has to be lines and everything. There has to be. We can't have it to where everything is just free for all. That's just not how things work. It's just not.
How many dunks have we seen in the WNBA this year? You could probably count it on with your hands and feet. That's the difference in just the physical ability in these people if you compare that to males, right? And it's no different. The strength, there's no difference when you start to get into karate or boxing or football or anything that's full contact like that. You have to start to think about safety. We can't think about player safety, men versus men, and not think that a man isn't going to pummel or demolish a woman or a young girl or whatever that looks like. Like, it just, I get fair is fair and fair is unfair, but it's also fair to that girl to not get beat up by a man. It just is. And again, this is away from the Olympic situation. We all agree that Olympic situation was completely different. We agree that she's a woman, and it was blown out of proportion. But if you want to prevent these types of situations from happening, this type of outrage from happening, then you have to hard code something in there and say this is the bar or this is the line, just like you do with boxing. If somebody has X in their bloodstream, if you're a football player, if you have this in your bloodstream, guess what? You're suspended. You can't play. Everything is, you deal with it. They have to do the same thing in sports if they're so worried about it. Because, I mean, to your point, if not, then it's going to be like, all right, pull your pants down. All right, you can compete. Like,
Yeah, I mean, we can't have it.
We can't turn to that.
Yeah, we can't have it. I understand that, things are different. We have to be open to a lot of things, but we can't become a world and a society where everything is just free. We can't. There has to be standards to certain things. And when we can make clear-cut decisions, make clear-cut decisions. If not, we have different special occasions and different instances. People have different biological setups and different makeups. I get it. But if they've been competing their whole life a certain kind of way, hey, unfortunately for this boxer, she's probably been dealing with a lot of discrimination her entire life. Doesn't make it right at all. But in this instance, she was competing the way she needed to be competing. She's been approved to compete in this sport under this gender. Hey, nothing to see here. Of course, people wanted to make it something to see here, but there are those instances where we have to take a second look and say sometimes it's just not right. It's not.
Even in the last thing, that I would say is not only all of that, you got to take into account that when you're talking about the Olympics, we can't just say, oh, this is how we want it in America, and now we have LGBTQ plus friendly government in America, and this is how it has to be at the Olympics. The Olympics is every country, so you have countries out there that are not LGBTQ plus friendly, whether we agree with their thinking or not. Right, we still have to understand that the rules are for everybody. We don't tell them, oh, you got to go to 6 fouls in basketball because that's what we do in America. Like, they have to come to some type of agreement across the board that everyone agrees with, and that's what it's going to have to be, because otherwise you're going to see this every single year, because there's no question that you have women that are bigger and stronger than other women, or you have other women that were born in certain ways or have high testosterone levels that are continue to show up at the Olympics, and we're going to see this every single year until they come up with some type of rules or laws or guidelines to govern it.
I mean, there was a lot said. I'm not going to go back on. I'm not going to go back on everything I had. You guys know my situation over here at the house, but had to stay muted for a while. One thing I'll say is this particular athlete is from Algeria, where it's illegal to be gay. So I don't think that they would have sent a gay or trans athlete to the Olympics, since it's illegal to be gay or trans in their country, which is fucked up in its own right. But again, I'll end where I started, with just making a point of that. The stuff that you're seeing that happen over the last couple of days in the Olympics is how a lot of this shit starts, where we make these hard lines without understanding the underlying facts of how these things work from a scientific standpoint, where you do have people who are born a woman or born a man, but their biology, right, their anatomy is different when you start looking at like the chromosomal level. And that's why I brought up the thing about like Phelps, for example, right? Phelps either doesn't produce lactic acid or his body like produces a reduced amount or something, and that gives him a huge advantage in the pool. How it
He's
works,
also double
I don't,
jointed in his elbows, and
yeah,
he's
you know what I
six
mean?
foot
And so
five. Like these are
and
all
right,
different, you
and
know.
so the point I'm making is that there's sometimes where people are gonna have things in their biology that is gonna give them an advantage in whatever sport they choose to participate in. And I'm not sure that we can just try to regulate that out with these hard and fast rules, right? And and I don't even know if it's fair to the athletes to do that, to say, well, you know, you were born this way, but you can't compete because it might make you better than other folks or whatever. Like I don't see the fairness in that. And I guess really the last thing I was trying to bring it around to this, is that this is the point that, you know, my point simply is that it starts here, and then we usually see that it only gets worse. And the only comparison that I can think of in what I'm saying here is like with the thing with the books that we see here in the United States or whatever. Like, oh, well, you know, we just don't want books, you know, we want kids learning about sex or whatever, so we got to pull, you know, stuff that got sex. Okay, now anything to deal with gays. Okay, now we got to get rid of Black history because it might make white people feel bad. You know, now we can't teach AP African American studies or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, we can, critical race theory, that got to go too, you know, and anything that deals with history or, you know, anything that's from this non-white perspective or whatever is now deemed, I don't want to say it's illegal because it's not, but you know, we got to take it off the shelves and disappear it. You know what I mean? And I can see this kind of thing happening the same way in sports. You already have the right wing in this country, at least, who have not let this go. While the Olympics seems to have moved on and nothing to see here, we see the right wing in this country. Trump last night at his rally was talking about this, riling up his base at the in Atlanta about this shit, right? And we see the same right wing in this country that went crazy over. You weren't here last week when we talked about EJ on the pod about this whole Last Supper bullshit about how it disrespected Christians and made them feel bad about their book of fucking fairy tales or whatever, right? And so they shitted on the Olympics committee and forced them to apologize about, you know, a display they put out of the Last Supper or whatever. You know what I mean? And so if you can bring the Olympic committee, excuse me, if you can bring the Olympic committee to heel on something like that because it hurt your Christian feelings or whatever, you know what I mean? What's to stop them from bringing them to heel on something like this?
I get it, and I agree with you. But I will also just say, you know, at some point we got to remove politics. We got to remove motives as best as possible, and it has to be balanced because, again, we always speak from the leftist thought of mine and look at it as a left thing and a political thing, and I get it. But you know, to me and Steve's point, at the core, we have to have some voice for the people that in those applicable instances,
Shout out to
when
Judy.
there is a clear disadvantage, when there's a clear disadvantage because someone competing in a women's only sport was once a man, we have to have understanding of what that does to the women that they're competing against. And we can't say at one point we care about the voices of women and those that don't get a voice, but we can't disregard this person's right, even though if it's detrimental to these women, we have to have some type of balance. I agree with you, you know, depending on who it's coming from and where the rhetoric stands, it may not be balanced and it may be, you know, something bad. But we can't ignore the fact that there has to be, when you're talking about human lives and safety, there has to be something that exists. And hopefully something partial that makes sense that protects those that are involved.
Let's not conflate the two, right? When we talk about this Olympics thing, that's not what EJ and I are referring to, and I think EJ, myself, VP, that we're all on the same page when it comes to the biological makeup of somebody with their being born with different chromosomes, right? XY, two X's, whatever that looks like. We're talking, EJ and I are talking more to someone born a male, lived their life as a male, now they're competing as a woman, and that's completely different from this boxer. So let's not make anyone feel like, who may have joined late, pay attention late, think that we're referring to this specific situation. We support her. We believe, as most other sane individuals do, that she is a woman and she deserved to compete, and she won, and she earned her medal, and she belongs in the winner's circle. So shout out to her. And to, yeah, you're right, VP. The fact that, the arrogance of the right wing in America to think that they can supersede the Olympics is absolutely crazy. And now we've seen it 2 weeks in a row. We've seen it once with the Last Supper, and now we've seen it with a gold medal winning individual. It's arrogance, and it's an election year, right? You got to think about it. It's at this pace, we're always going to have Olympics, always an election year, so you're always going to see right wing stuff. You're always going to see politics playing into it, and it's unfortunate, but it's kind of what we're gonna have to deal with. So we'll see how it goes in the future. Hopefully, it gets better though.
And what's wild about it is that those same people, they're warriors for free speech, except any free speech that offends me. That's that you can't have free speech that makes me feel bad. Right. And my, Christian beliefs and feelings supersede your free speech. That just has to be understood. That's how free speech works, right? Anything can be. I can say anything I want to you. If you are, gay or trans, or you're poor, or whatever, you're black. It's fine for me to shit on you.
It's how it's always been.
Yeah,
that's how.
But if you say anything that hurts my feelings, that we gotta cut that out. Can't have that.
It ain't even politics at this point. It's just pure racist, white supremacist thought. That's what it boils down to. That's all it is. And because you're absolutely right. They can call us anything under the sun, but the moment, it's just what it is. I'm not even surprised.
On and off of that at the same time, Paul, VP, give us a quick recap of where we stand on the Kamala Harris front. I know that she's gotten enough backing to be the nominee now. Do we have any thoughts? Nominee. She's official. Do we have any thoughts on VP? Anything new coming out? We're still awaiting.
No, I mean, so she's not officially the nominee. They're voting right now. There was some stuff happening in Ohio that made them move the vote up. So that's why the vote is happening before the convention. They're doing it virtually. The voting closes tomorrow for the delegates, but for the amount of delegates that she's gotten already, she's surpassed the I think it's 1,902 or 26 or something like this, like a 1,900 number that she needs in delegate support to become the nominee. She surpassed that number, but the voting closes tomorrow. So by end of day tomorrow, she'll officially be the Democratic nominee for president. She's announced that she will be letting us know who her VP choice will be on Tuesday at an event in Philadelphia. And in the month of July alone, man, the campaign says that it raised $310 million, which is the most money for a month by a presidential campaign in U.S. history. More than double the amount that Trump's campaign raised in July, which was like $139 million. You're starting to see the enthusiasm gap close in terms of Democrat to Republican. And one of the other things that I thought was very, a good thing for her is that this I'd have to try to look it up, but this group, this like Muslim organization, came out and endorsed her, which I thought was something that was very good, because Biden had been struggling with the Muslim American population, especially the ones who live in Michigan and in Minnesota. Much. It's not even that he talks. It's about his support for what's happening in Israel with the Israel and the Palestinians. And it seems like, you know, that one thing that I was worried about with that community in particular was that, you know, Kamala Harris is not just somebody who came out of nowhere. She's in the administration. She's the VP. So it's not like Biden is saying like, I support what Israel is doing, and she's like, nah, Joe's out of pocket. You know, we need to change. Like, she supports it too, because that's what the VP does. They supports the president's policies. You know what I'm saying? And so it seems like they are looking at things nuanced enough to understand this isn't her policy, it's his, and because she's VP, you know, she's right there supporting it. So that's huge. So you know, again, some polling has come out that shows her tied or leading. There's still some polling that shows Trump leading, you know, but we got a tight race, and it's gonna, you know, it's gonna
It's
come down to the wire. We'll see. But you know,
the
things
bl-
are looking better than they were with Biden for sure.
the Black Muslim Leadership Council Fund. That's who the first one was. That was their
Okay.
name. But yeah, I mean, I told you I work with someone who's you know, he's Muslim and he's big into the community and stuff like that, and he mentioned all of the impact that the comments about Israel had on you know, the groups that he's a part of supporting Joe Biden, and not that they were going to switch sides, but they were just either not going to vote at the top of the ticket, or they were going to just, you know, vote some type of independent type shit, right? So swinging that back is great, especially for Michigan, right? Michigan has, I know you've talked about it historically, and this is the one he talked about big, is that, you know, they're a major player in Michigan, the Muslim
Yeah,
community.
Michigan has the it's my understanding they have the largest Muslim American population in the United States, and then Minnesota right behind them
Wow.
next door. And in
Wow.
Dearborn, where I just was, a suburb of Detroit. When we were in Detroit for bowling, the hotel we stayed at was in Dearborn, and every single restaurant we went to, like, there was I mean, we saw like Muslim folks like all over the place, you
Hmm.
know.
Hmm.
The chicken joint we
Huge
ate at,
community out there.
yeah, you know,
Getting as
it was
far away from the Bible Belt as possible.
yeah.
Well,
So
that in Maine.
so those folks, you know, for this election, those folks are going to be huge in Michigan. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, but anyway, like she's going to be announcing her VP pick on Tuesday. We may find out today or tomorrow if it leaks to the media. I'm pretty sure she's probably made the decision already. And you know, once it's probably her and a handful of people that know. But once you broaden the circle of who knows, just because certain people got to know to make certain things happen, you know, getting signs ready and ordering stuff, that's when it leaks out. So we'll probably find out sometime today or maybe tomorrow who it's going to be. But it's going to be at a rally in Philly on Tuesday. The campaign has said, a lot of people are like, oh, it's going to be in Philly, so that means it's going to be Josh Shapiro because he's the governor of Pennsylvania. The campaign has said, don't look too deep into the whole fact that it's in Philly, because a lot of people are tying that back to 2012 when Mitt Romney picked Paul Ryan to be his VP nominee. Paul Ryan's a congressman was a congressman from the state of Wisconsin, former Speaker of the House as well. And when they did the speech, they did it on the USS Wisconsin in Virginia, the Navy ship. And so they were like, "You're having a speech on the USS Wisconsin, so that's telling us it's going to be Paul Ryan." They were like, "Oh, don't look too deep into that Wisconsin thing. You know, it could be anybody that we're having a speech in Virginia for on the USS Wisconsin." So you know, we'll see what happens. But the bigger sign to me that it's likely going to be one of the governors who are the nominee is that a story that came out on like Thursday or Friday that kind of didn't get a lot of play in the media was that the Harris campaign was reaching out to some CEOs that usually support Democrats, telling them that they needed to hurry up and donate by this weekend, because there's a rule in the SEC that says that CEOs of companies can't donate to presidential campaigns that have sitting governors on them, because it looks like a pay for play kind of thing. And so they're telling them, like, you need to hurry and get your donations in before you're legally cut off from doing so. And so that told a lot of people, like, okay, she's picking one of the governors,
So it's
which
going to
would
be a
mean,
governor. Yeah.
which a lot of people are thinking that means that it's either going to be Shapiro, Tim Walz of Minnesota, or Andy Beshear of Kentucky. And for
Oh, a
me,
DEI hire.
Right. Nobody's saying DEI hire for hiring one of the white guys or whatever, but of course, for her, she's a DEI hire, right? But for me, my favorite would be Andy Bashir, the governor of Kentucky. But I think it's Josh Shapiro's to lose, in my opinion.
So, Pennsylvania, they voted blue 4 years ago, right? It ended blue.
Correct.
4 years ago. Kentucky was blue or red?
Kentucky is a red state, but Andy Bashir is a red state governor. He won
he's
his
a
race.
Democrat.
He's a Democrat as a governor of a red state, and he got elected and then also won re-election as well. And he's won re-election. Trump won Kentucky by 26 points. Andy Bashir won Kentucky by 5 as a Democrat. But that's why I like him, is that I feel like in this election, because you're running against Trump, you have a lot of disaffected Republicans who don't want to vote for him, but they're scared to vote for a Democrat because they think, oh, she's too liberal. I don't like this about climate change, or I don't like this, even for stuff like gay rights, like we were just talking about a moment ago with the Olympics. And they might think she's too far out there on this stuff and I can't vote for her. Right. And so I'm either going to just come home and vote for Trump or not vote, which in my mind, those two things are the same thing, not voting or voting for Trump. Right. And you bring on somebody like a Bashir who can talk to those voters and say, hey, she's okay, you can trust her. And usually VPs don't matter, right? But sometimes they do, because a lot of people, the old thinking used to be, you get a VP from this area, he's going to help you get these states.
You're probably going to win that state, right?
And that stuff doesn't matter in our current politics, but sometimes it does, right? And so two examples I'll give you from our recent past. You have Barack Obama, a young 47-year-old senator. The country's in the middle of a financial crisis and dealing with 2 wars, and you have this young 47-year-old man saying, hey, put the keys in my hand, I can get us right. And a lot of people were like, I don't know if I could trust this guy. And so he picks an old veteran, seasoned hand in Biden to say, hey, you can trust this kid. And they look at Biden as being like minding the store. Now, I think that thinking is stupid because Obama's still president. It's not like Biden's going to be like, no, you can't do that. And he's going to be like, okay, Joe said no. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's still no. That's not true, because a lot of people, like, I would say me personally, before I knew a lot, or before I talked to you a lot about politics, I would have gone with Hillary regardless of anything else, because I feel like she would have, even though Bill's not on the ticket, she has the Bill as the big brother to be like, yo, you've dealt with this. And I think, to say that Barack wouldn't do the same thing with Joe that would be irresponsible. There's no way he would be like, I'm making this decision, fuck what you said. He's not Joffrey. You know what I'm saying? He's not.
I don't mean it in a way like Obama wouldn't confer with Joe, but I think some people took it as like Joe is there.
Oh, Joe's
so
running
that
the
means
country.
Not that he's running it, but like Joe's going to be the responsible one to hold Obama back from doing something irresponsible. Like to your example with Joffrey, Cersei's telling him, yeah, just send Ned to the wall, it's all good. And Joffrey's like, nah, we got to take his head off. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, Obama's the president, so he could, if he wants to be Joffrey, it is what it is. Joe can't stop him. Yeah, that's the point I'm making, or whatever. So that's why I don't really understand the logic in people's thinking like that. But some people think that way. And then the second example I was going to give is with Trump. Before the Republican Party became a cult, you had a lot of right-wing Christians who didn't know if they can trust Trump because, the guy had been married 3 times. He was, he had all this stuff out there about him, and they didn't know if they could get jiggy with that. And so Trump picks Mike Pence, who comes out of these religious circles. He gets his start in right-wing Christian radio before he becomes a congressman, governor, etc. And then Pence says, hey, trust this guy. And they say, okay, Pence say we can trust him, we're going to go with him. And then it became a cult. But that's why I don't think the VP pick matters. But in this case, with Kamala, I think a guy like Andy Bashir can do that same thing, where you have a red state governor who is saying, I know you guys because you vote for me, and I'm telling you, you can trust her. Shapiro can do a little bit of that too with Pennsylvania, because Pennsylvania.
It always matters, because politics is about making me feel good. So, to you, and I get why it doesn't to you, because you're the informed, guru, considerably to many others. It's about making me feel good. It's about exactly what you said. Joe Biden's an old war horse. Sure, Obama doesn't have to, but I want to feel good and think that, hey, he looks up to him like a mentor. So it's feel good politics. It's a smart thing to do because it's going to to your point, it's going to garner the votes because the people that need to be appeased, it's going to appease them. That's what it is. Feel good politics.
Right. And she can get a little bit of that out of Shapiro as well from Pennsylvania because, James
Did
Carville,
either one
who's
of
Bill
them serve in
Clinton's,
the military?
but Tom, I think Bashir did, and I know Tom Walsh did for sure. I think Bashir did. I'm not 100% sure.
She probably should go with someone that served in the military.
And but I like I said, I like all three. I think Shapiro can help talk to Republicans too because he's from Pennsylvania. And James Carville, who was Clinton's old campaign manager in the 90s, he has this thing he says about Pennsylvania where he says it's Philadelphia on the east, Pittsburgh on the west, and Alabama in the middle. So
and that's the reality of it.
So you
USA
can
women are up
that
10 by the way right now.
And what do you? That's
They
against
not-
Brazil.
Basketball.
Basketball.
Against
Oh,
Germany.
Germany. They had an 18.5 spread before the game started.
Well, it's only they just cut it to 8. Germany just cut it to 8.
Yeah, I was gonna go. I should have took the 18.5 for Germany. I had a feeling that they would not be a blowout like they thought. But not to jump off politics, but I feel like we got to say something. And Kamala's gonna have a very tough, I think very tough responsibility, even as president or even as a presidential elect. One issue that VP already mentioned with what's going on with Israel and Palestine, and the support that is coming from the Muslim community of this nation. But then too, as a black woman and everything that's going on with Sonia Massey, which we didn't really, I don't think we really got at very much. But this Sonia Massey,
we never talked about that.
Yeah, I mean Sonia Massey, woman in Illinois. Let's just cut to the chase, man. Was murdered by a monster, animal, police officer. Shot her in cold blood. Refused to give aid. And he's locked up now. The police union. I don't know if it's the Illinois entire state police union. If it's just the police union in that city, wherever it is, but they've come out. They're in support of this dude. And it's nasty, man. And if you don't know a lot about the case, I don't want to go too much into it, but I mean, they arrived at her home and she's boiling water, and this guy shot her in the face, shot her in the head, killed her, cold blood.
The thing is, my thing is this, man. In 2024,
let me finish this point of it though. Going forward, I think Kamala's gonna have a really
Kelsey Plum cooking.
Kamala's gonna have a really tough situation. Not any. I can't say any different. I think it is different. Being a black woman and this being something that's going on. All of the things that have gone on in this nation with black people and law enforcement, and maybe even feeling a responsibility or to have to address it when she goes out. And I think coming down, and this is just something related, but related, Ben Crump, the attorney representing or involved rather. I mean, I think he makes the families feel whole. I think he's brave for taking the positions he's taking in these matters because he's probably receiving all kinds of death threats. But I heard him talk about how they're going for first degree murder in this sense. And I don't know, man, when you're talking about Illinois and the jury of their peers and first degree murder, be so much put on the intent and the premeditation of this situation. It's going to be tough. And I just say all of that to say that Kamala, man, is going to have to deal with a lot as the presidential elect and potentially the president in dealing with the black issues of this nation. Because what happened to Sonia Massey is just, it's as if we needed anything else to be more afraid as a black person of law enforcement in this nation. It's crazy, and we definitely need justice for her.
I agree with you, and I think that she's going to be held to the flame as she should be, if she wins, just as much, if not more, than Obama. Because a lot of people will go back and say that, while Obama was a great president, and we understand that he's a president for all, there still wasn't much directly correlated to the black community that you could say, yo, we benefited from our black president. These issues have
Yep.
been addressed, right? And so I think, to your
Yep.
point, that's especially now when she's going to be campaigning during. I mean, we saw the young man who got punched in the face by two cops in LA because he was double parked. Like, at some point, and then her being from that background, she's got to be able to get up there and condemn it. Or else, if me as a voter, as a black voter, I'm gonna be like, yo, you can't condemn your people. You can't tell me, hey, this is bad. What's the difference between not condemning dirty cops and Trump not condemning fucking KKK? To me, it's the same. One and the same, right? So, and I think she will. I suspect that she will. She's been vocal. I saw an interview that popped up yesterday where they asked her about ARs, and she spoke, strongly about it, kept her stance, and the overall stance of we need to stop them from being in the company and in the country. We still need to do buybacks and stuff like that. But those are going to be the questions that she's going to have to answer. I agree with you, and she's going to need to stay on top of that, and have a plan. Because if I'm a black voter, we know that's what's winning presidential elections right now. And if I'm a black voter, I need you as a black person to stand up there and make it clear. You may not have to say it word for word, but I want to feel like when I leave or when I'm listening to you, that you're going to have my best interest or my family's best interest or my kids' best interest at hand moving forward.
So I don't think that you guys are necessarily wrong in what you're saying. I know Kamala released a statement a week or so ago on this Massey killing. Um, the thing that I would caution you on, Steve, on the point that you just made is that, you know, I've said this before, and I'm going to say it now, is that, you know, we have to Kamala Harris has to run the race that she's in, not the race that she wants to be in. And Kamala Harris is running a race in the United States of America as a black woman. And I'm not sure how hard she can go out there like against the police, right? Biden, most Democrats traditionally don't even get a lot of support from like police, like organizations like unions and things like that. Even though Biden's a big union guy, the police unions typically don't back Democrats or police officers for that matter. Even though Biden has done more for police than probably any single individual in this country in terms of like funding and things like that throughout his career. And a lot of people on the Democratic side, especially young voters, progressive voters, don't like that about Biden, right? But Biden got some benefit because of that. People like they know him, and even though Kamala is a former prosecutor, right? She was essentially California's top cop. She was the attorney general there, right? She's still black. You know what I mean? And so I don't know how well it would serve her to go out and make those kind of statements that, let me not say those kind of statements. I don't know how far she can go is basically what I'm trying to say,
And that's
given the fact that she has to try to get elected,
and that's what I was saying is going to be very tough for her because, she's coming from those two, those mundos, those two worlds.
Mhm.
She's coming from being the top cop. She's coming from being, on a ticket that supported the police more than anyone, but she's also a black woman.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it's going to be very tough to look at voters, to Steve's point, black voters, if they get critical at some point, because right now everybody's just happy that she's in it and she's doing her thing. But if it does come down to it, let's just say when she wins, let's speak it into existence.
As you
To
should.
Steve's point, black people in this nation have a right and should, for once, really feel that this nation has our best interests at hand, especially in the hands of a black woman. especially during, you know, turmoil in a situation where black women was brutally murdered and shot down in cold blood. You know, I agree with you both. Definitely, you know, VP. I don't know how far she's prepared or will go, but you know, it's a tough position to be in with that going on, being a black woman.
So Kamala's
Right.
statement, I pulled it up and I have it on the screen if anyone that's watching video or decides to go on and watch video. But Sonia Massey deserved to be safe. After she called the police for help, she was tragically killed in her own home at the hands of a responding officer sworn to protect and serve. Doug and I send strength and prayers to Sonia's family and friends, and we join them in grieving her senseless death. Our thoughts are also with the communities across our nation whose calls for help are often met with suspicion, distrust, and even violence. The disturbing footage released yesterday confirms what we know from the lived experiences of so many. We have much work to do to ensure our justice system fully lives up to its name. I join President Biden in commending the swift action of states' attorneys' office and calling on Congress to pass the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, a bill that is co-authored in the Senate. In this moment, in honor of Sonia's memory and the memory of so many more whose names we may never know, we must come together and achieve meaningful reforms that advance the safety of all communities. I think that's a pretty good statement. I don't think it's too over the top. I don't think it's saying cops are disgusting monsters, but I think it does call out that it happens far too often. Um, it's a good statement. Whoever wrote it.
I like it. I like it for what it is, and you know what it
Yeah.
needs to be. I like it. You know, it's such a tough. I mean, it's got to be such a tough. I don't know her. I don't, you know, but just knowing the people, because I know people personally that went to school with her, that know who she is personally, know the cloth that she's cut from, so to speak. It's got to be internally tough. Just knowing, she went to a black school at the pinnacle of being black for people in this nation and having black pride, like the late 70s, early 80s, where you still had the different world. They were woke about apartheid, they were woke about this, they
The
were
leather
coming off,
the leather African
you
pieces
know what I
that they used
mean?
to rock,
I
red,
mean,
green,
like,
and yellow joints, the
you know what
black
I mean? It's
beads.
got to be tough. It's got to be tough internally to sit there in that position and see what's going on, and and just know, like, that could be somebody's daughter, that could be my cousin, that could be my sister, that could be me. It's got to be tough, man. But definitely a good statement.
In 2024, though, man, people like I know we shouldn't have to. But in 2024, people just have to learn how to, for the safety, teach your children, teach your family, have conversations with your family on how to present yourself when the police are around. Deal with the aftermath after, like, but and this is not just Sonia Massey. This is the gentleman that got pulled over. He was, or that was double parked, and the cop was like, he's like, "Oh, do you have a problem? I'm not on probation or parole. I'm not on probation or parole." All right, dog. Give him your license and registration. Take your ticket for being double parked and keep it moving. Right? Instead, you get punched in the face. In this case, he walked away and didn't get killed, didn't get tased or anything like that. But it could have led to that. You know what I'm saying? Over double park, he didn't have drugs. He wasn't doing anything illegal. Like, we know that they're going to target us. You don't have to call it out and make it a big thing when it happens. You know what I'm saying? Just act accordingly. And if it was wrong, you deal with whatever afterwards. But it's better to make it home to your family. And that's what they're thinking, right? And that's why those cops in Chicago or Illinois, rather, are saying the same thing about the dude that shot her. He's saying he thought that she was going to throw boiling water on him, right? You watch the video, it shows otherwise. The way he spoke to her and basically said, "Yo, I
He
will
got
shoot you
he
in your
got closer
in your
to her.
fucking face."
He
I
put
know,
himself
I
in
know.
more danger.
I think the murder one charge is not going to stick. There's no way you're going to get
I,
that.
I,
No,
But
I have a
they
I have a
definitely got to
big
drop
problem
one.
with that. I have a big
They got to
problem
go
with
murder
that.
suit, and that's
I have a big
and
problem with that.
me too. I've said it on this podcast. I don't know how many times that I think that's what happened here in Florida with Casey Anthony. Is
mhm.
that they got overzealous and went with murder one, and typically in most states, murder one has a premeditation factor in it, and it's hard to get in somebody's mind, and they're gonna lose this case doing that. So hopefully You know, they go if they're gonna do, and I don't know if you're allowed to do murder one and murder two, but a lot of times what you see in these cases, they do murder one and then they include what's called lesser includeds, and then they
Mhm.
have stuff like manslaughter and that kind of
Manslaughter.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. And it's like, why even go for murder one? Make it a murder two charge,
Go
and
for what
then
you can
keep it.
get.
Yeah,
Go for what you can get, because you're gonna have to prove in this instance that this dude had set out that day and said, "I'm
Yes.
gonna murder the first black person, the first woman, the
First
first
call I have.
person,
Yeah.
first call I have, no matter what." And I'm just listening to Crump talk, and I'm just like, dog, like I commend you for stepping up for these families, whether it's financial gain, notoriety, whatever involved, because I'm sure there's a lot of negative that comes with it, and it ain't a lot. I don't know if there's a lot of other attorneys. I don't know, but I mean, just pushing back, like, bro, like I felt like this is Trayvon Martin, all over again to some degree. Like, are you really trying to get the conviction, or are you going off the emotion? What are
Right.
you doing here? And we've seen
right.
this happen before, like to VP. I don't know. I just, it's been on my mind since I heard it, and I'm like, yo, I
Yeah.
gotta say something, because yeah,
I mean, and I don't know what they've charged him with yet. I haven't seen that. I know he's just been arrested. I don't know what the actual charges are, but you know, hopefully, again, you know, they don't. I get it that Crump and them are pushing for that, but I hope that they don't go for a murder one, just because I think that premeditation factor. And again, you know, experts have said in other trials I've watched, like trials that have been on TV and stuff like that, you know, about how, you know, it doesn't have to be necessarily like what EJ says, where it's like that guy woke up that morning like, I'm killing a black person, right? You can premeditate
establish
in the
it.
5 minutes
Yep,
prior before the
yep.
thing
Right.
happened or whatever, but you're dealing with a jury of people, and they may think, even though the judge is going to tell them this is how you should consider the facts and boo boo boo, when they get in that deliberation room, they may say, "Wow, that don't seem." I mean, earlier they talked about how he went and got coffee, and the lady who worked at Starbucks was
He's a
black,
police
and he
officer.
didn't kill her, you know. So you know, like I think they going for murder one, I think would be a huge mistake in my opinion.
They're gonna try and play on the statement he made where he said, "I will shoot you in your fucking face." They're gonna try and probably play on that and use that as premeditation and say, "Look, he already had it planned. He already told her, blah blah blah." Right? Um, it's a bad. It's a. They shouldn't do it. They shouldn't go for it. It's tough. But the situation in itself is a problem. That is a problem across the United States, and not only that, this guy has tons of priors. He's got a crazy jacket. The fact that police officers can just go city to city, state to state, department to department, no matter what their history shows, is ridiculous. Yo, there's no, you telling me there's nowhere, there's no, in 2024 when technology is, so far ahead, that you don't have a database that says, if I look up EJ, that was a cop in Baltimore, and now
That gotta
he's
be me.
applying here in Detroit, and it says he had, 5 complaints. He had one, case that he even if you beat the case, like, come on, man. There's no way, yo. There's no way you could tell me that you
Yeah,
got dirty cops going from department to department like that.
it's bad. I mean, the cop who shot Tamir Rice, that's exactly what happened there. He
Hmm.
was a cop, I think, like in Cleveland, I want to say, and then he had got dismissed for something. I don't remember what I don't know if it was for excessive force or whatever, but he had got dismissed from that police agency, and then he went and got a job with the police agency he was with when he killed 12-year-old Tamir Rice. You know, and so it's something that we see across the board with cops. You know, another place that this is actually the same topic is bad, and I would argue it's probably just as worse or maybe a little bit worse. It's with medical professionals. Doctors, they're able to leave one state and go to another without having things follow them from previous states and practice medicine and fuck people up, you know, just as bad as they were doing in Arizona, and now they're in Georgia, and they move from Georgia and go to Indiana or whatever, you know. So that's another place that this is a problem in. Not to
Yeah,
try to change the subject or anything.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's a bigger issue. I mean, the doctor piece is, we live in a country where a lot of people either don't have insurance, or if they do, the price for the cost for their services are super expensive. So if I'm a doctor, if I'm Dr. Jones, and I move from, Cleveland, Ohio to Potunk, Alabama, and I'm willing to treat, Miss Bessie May for $50 in my own practice, Miss Bessie May gonna come to me. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of where we're fucked up more as a country, I think, with the way our healthcare is set up. But I agree with you. I agree with you. No question. It's crazy. Because I'll tell you this: if you've ever been fired from a job, Best Buy, whatever, if you go reapply for them, guess what? You're not getting interviewed because they got the history there. Like and I can tell you that without a shadow of a doubt, because multiple companies that I've worked for that I've had HR access to, I say, hey, is this person rehireable? No, they were terminated. So it happens with the common American that's selling appliances, but it doesn't happen with the police that are supposed to be protecting people. Come on.
Yeah, that's the thing that's wild. Like that point that you just made about like people having that non-rehireable box checked for whatever company is that you have companies who are saying, we let go of this person when they were like an intern for us, let's say, for example. It's 10 years later, this person done went to college, they done bettered themselves, whatever. And they walk back through our door and we're like, nah, we're good because this thing happened back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
When they were 16.
And right. And then the people who we entrust the law to, that we give the power to take away people's freedoms in sometimes their lives, depending on the circumstances, that there's not that kind of like check in place, right? And then to take it to the medical piece, the people who we entrust to folks who are like at their most vulnerable when they're sick and need help, that we give you license to go inside their body or to give them chemicals to put in their body to try to heal them and stuff like that. That there's also not this kind of check in place to where they can get in trouble and say, okay, got in trouble here, time to move, and start over. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like, it would be one thing if, to Steve's point, Dr. Smith was practicing in Florida, did some foul and said, okay, I'm going to move to Arizona. And now I'm going to go change my name to Dr. Jenkins or whatever and start new. You know what I mean? Under this assumed identity. No, it's still same Dr. Smith, same guy. He didn't grow a mustache or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it's wild, man. It is insane.
I wonder if it was like that with the Grandmaesters. Like, you think the guy that's it's the same guy that's looking at Aegon that was looking at my boy Viserys, right?
Correct.
You think they did the background check, or are they just like, well, he all burnt up, yeah, right.
So to give Orwell a little bit of credit here is plus that he wasn't the Grand Maester when Viserys first got sick. It was the other guy who wanted to do the who told Viserys, hey, it's either the wife or the baby, Yeah. So that was the Grand Maester. Orwell, the black one, was one of the underlings. And then when that guy died, he became Grand Maester.
Yo, Viserys was
and
wild,
a lot of people credit him with keeping Viserys alive as long as he did through his medical treatments or whatever, because of how jacked up he was.
Viserys was wild. The way he just looked
was a
off
wild boy
to the side and made that decision. He was like, not how a regular person would be like, you know what? It's a baby that ain't really. It's my wife. I could make another baby, maybe. He was like, nah, I can get another wife. My daughter's friend.
Right. And the next baby could be a girl.
Kind of tasty.
Like, this is my chance. Like, EJ, you got 3 girls. If you had your chance to have your NFL potential, and they came to you as like, yo, it's a boy. It's a boy. We can get you your boy. And he looked like he gonna be a strapping young boy.
Yo.
Or shorty.
Or Viserys like
yeah. Well, let me make sure let me make sure her beneficiaries are set up correctly first.
Right.
Let me get back to you.
Pan to the next scene. Her stomach cut open. What's happening to me?
Yeah, babe, you went out in the line of duty, babe. You went out. You a hero.
She ain't even talking about no more.
Yeah, she keeping the family line going.
Crazy.
So Yeah, so Aegon. So we know there's not going to be any time jumps or anything like that. So we won't see any. Probably won't see Aegon tonight. What are you guys' predictions? Who dies tonight? What's the biggest name that dies tonight for each of you? VP, you could start.
I said it. I said in the chat. Cole is going down tonight.
That's your biggest name,
Christian Cole,
or you think
Yep.
that's just one of many?
biggest.
Okay.
I think we're gonna see.
This bum ass book reading ass bitch over here gonna know everything.
Well, you asked me. That's why I was.
Forget it. You don't mean shit.
So I won't say that. So I won't.
Yo,
you know.
this nigga
But
does the same
person,
thing.
The person I'm thinking is they're not long for this world. They got an episode or two.
The crazy part, EJ, is this motherfucker does the same thing that you be doing with Marvel. You're the book reader for Marvel. He's the book reader for House of Dragon. That's exactly what's happening. It's the same thing.
Now, one thing I will tell you with House of the Dragon, right? Remember, the story that this book is based off of is the Fire and Blood book, which I told you guys is not as detailed. So the show is kind of filling in gaps. Think of that book as almost being like a Wikipedia page where it tells you like these things happen, but Wikipedia don't go into detail to tell you like this person said this person was thinking this or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so the show is able to take some liberties, right? So for example, we see in the Vale, Rhaena, who is thirsty for a dragon. She's like, yo, there's a dragon here. I'm trying to find it. And most people think the dragon is Sheep Stealer. That doesn't happen in the book. Sheep Stealer is on Dragonstone in the books or whatever. But he appears to be in the Vale and something's happening with Rhaena there, so we'll see what happens or whatever. So
she's about to get Sheep Stealer.
That's what I'm thinking as well, which if she does, that's not what happened in the books. You know what I mean? Right. So, we'll see what happens or whatever. So yeah.
I got Aemon
Does
dying.
anything what?
I think Aemon dies tonight. Mm-hmm. Him Aguan.
Mm-hmm. About
that. Yeah, but that boy looked shook last episode though when he saw Vermithor
sure
across the bay.
He sure did.
I'm not the bully on the block no more. They got a squad over there.
and not only that, you know what it was? He probably saw them and was like, "Damn, I don't even see Daemon long neck ass dragon out here yet." So,
I don't see Daemon and Sea Smoke wasn't out there either. It was just Rhaenyra, Silverwing, and Vermithor. So
and he had just gotten word that Sea Smoke had a rider too.
No, they didn't.
On top of it.
No, they never told him.
They never told him. That's why you see Ironrod and Larys looking at each other because they're thinking like I think Larys purposely didn't want him to be told, and Ironrod is looking like shit. I missed my opportunity.
Yep. Larys is crooked foot, right?
I think when he gets back, he's gonna be mad as shit. Like they got mad dragons over there. Y'all didn't tell me nothing.
Yeah, because for right now they only got they got Vhagar. And then you hear them say at the end of the episode that their younger brother, who we haven't seen on screen yet, Daeron, who's been with the High Towers, being a ward at the High Towers, his dragon just started flying to Sarion. And then Helena has a dragon too called Dreamfire, who's about the same size as Aegon's dragon, but we don't ever see her dragon. We saw her dragon at the
same size as Aegon's dragon. Oh, Aegon's dragon.
Her dragon's about the same size as Aegon.
Sunfire.
His dragon's name's Sunfire. Hers name's Dreamfire. We saw her dragon at the episode in season 1 when they go to Driftmark for the funeral for Laena. When they showed that one wide shot of all the dragons, the episode where Aemon gets Vhagar, you can see her dragon in the background, but you haven't seen her ride it on the show.
Yo, sidebar. This family's got to be the stupidest family in the world. Like you have all Targaryens? These dragons. Yeah, you got all these dragons. I mean, when you know what actually happens at the end, you gotta be the dumbest motherfuckers in the world. Like, and so bad so that hundreds of years later, the name is nowhere near as what it was. Your living ancestor, has no real clue of who she really is, and she don't even pan out.
That's because she was digmatized. Khal Drago had her ass dickmatized. She looked,
I'm just saying.
and then Jon Snow put that White Walker dick on her. She look, Khaleesi, she was dog.
Dunzo, and that's what I'm
went
saying.
crazy.
You go from Rhaenyra, you go from Aegon, Aemon, you go from all of these people to that because y'all want to have a dance of dragons.
And I think Jon Snow, although he was loyal to her, I think his loyalty was with the redhead who took his virginity. She the one. She had that fire. Khaleesi probably had some mid compared to her. What was the redhead name, MVP?
Ygritte.
Yeah.
She boned him in the freezing cold.
She
it's cold as shit out there when they was smashing.
That fire. Jon Snow ain't know what hit him, yo.
They was smashing in the snow.
Yo, he loved her. He was in instant love. So
you gave me some cold booty cheeks. Oh yes.
Tonight is 70 minutes.
Hey, whatever happened must have been good. You know, he married her in real life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they met on the show and then they're married now.
Oh, that's what's up.
She shot her shot. She said, "We're not going to just make this a scene, my boy. We need to practice. Right. Come to my trailer."
Yeah, come here, Kit. Kit. You should have known he was gonna be pussy whip. His name Kit. You got a pussy whip name. You fuck out of here, Kit. You little bitch. Oh, that's why we can't get no sequel, because he pussy whip. He like, I'm only doing it if my wife is in it. You know, your wife did.
She was in that Vin Diesel flick, the Witch Hunter joint. That was the first time I saw her. She was in the Vin Diesel joint.
Tonight's episode is 70 minutes. How much of that 70 minutes is battle, do you guys think?
Well, we know 10 is enough.
Something VP can't ruin.
We know 10 minutes is the intro. And 5 is the ending credits. So that's 15 right there.
I mean, I'm thinking we should probably get some battles or whatever, but you know,
what's the maximum dragons we see on the screen? You're over under tonight in the battle.
I'm gonna say 3.
3?
4.
Because I think we probably get a montage of like maybe the new guys getting some training or something like that, and that's 3 of them at least.
Yeah, I think 4.
I think at one point we see Rhaenyra, Aemond, and then I think there's a point where we probably see Sea Smoke come out of nowhere and Daemon. So I think 4.
We're gonna see Sheepstealer. We're gonna see Sheepstealer. We know that.
Oh, we'll see Sheepstealer. But I mean all at one time in one scene. I'm thinking
one scene.
Yeah, one scene. I'm thinking 4. I think we see Aemon get jumped. They gonna jump his ass tonight. They gonna take his other eye. Fuck up out of here. What about his mom Dukes?
Rhaenyra?
Alicent.
Oh, Alicent. Okay.
So Alicent,
she robbed us. We were supposed to see a nude scene last week. Yeah, she robbed us.
She's feeling some kind of way since Aemon fired her.
She stripped down her granny dress to commit suicide. Come on,
she didn't commit suicide.
She was thinking about it.
No, she was thinking about it. That's what the director said. Or the showrunner.
But she has another son.
She stripped down her granny gown for that. That's whack.
She's got another son. Do you think her pop shows up with that other son to be like, you're not the rightful heir?
I mean, probably.
Well, yeah, we know Aemon already kind of called back for him.
Yeah, Aemon wants him back.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah, that's what he said last episode. That when he told him he was going to remove Christian Cole from being hand, and then
I remember
calling back Otto. So
yep. But does Otto bring back the kid? And is the kid older or younger than these guys?
He's younger. He's the youngest son.
Okay, but he's not a baby.
No, he's not a baby. They sent him to the Vale to Ward to be raised up there.
Got you. He's not a baby because the brother says he hasn't written to you, so he can at least write. So we know that. I'm interested. I'm excited about this episode. They better not fuck it up. I'm still mad that Daemon didn't do shit last week.
I like Damon last week dealing with old Oscar Tully, getting checked by my man came in like, I'm so young, I'm so green. He played Damon.
Yeah, Damon got checked. Damon was like, he definitely did, yo.
Damon was like, yo, he was like, watch your tongue, boy. And my man stepped up like, you on my army or not?
Uh-huh. You know what I mean? Yeah, you outnumbered right now.
Like, chop my man head off. Like, oh, word. Say less.
Yeah, he put him in a position though, but Damon had to do that. Yeah, he had to do that.
My man. I like that. I like the little kid there. He did his thing. Okay, I'm so green. I'm so young. I just don't know. Check him.
Mm-hmm. But he was also the one that was talking shit earlier in the episode, right? Or in the season rather. Out there when they got into that battle out there.
No, that's not him. That's not him.
Oh, that's not him.
Yeah, we don't see him for the first time until he meets Damon. When Damon tells him, like, "Why don't you put a pillow over your granddad's head?"
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And he says
he was talking shit then.
Yeah.
Kind of. He was just like, I'm not long in the tooth or some shit. I don't understand.
He was like, you out here killing babies, you fucking shit up, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
Damon, little bitch ass, better show up tonight. If he don't show up tonight, I'm not Team Damon no more. I'm rocking with Eamon. Eamon's the G. I'm about to be on my LeBron shit. Team Green, baby.
Steve's text at 10:45. Fucking HBO.
Have y'all seen anything on the leaks? I've been like avoiding them shits like the plague.
Nope. I'm not even gonna look at my Instagram today.
Yeah, they were actually out sooner than what the internet has said, because I came across it on YouTube and I was like, and I ain't say nothing because I was just like, maybe it's leaking their ideas and their thoughts. But I realized that was like one of the first links with some real leaks, but I never clicked it though.
I'm not even tighten up the security.
For real. Like, you're HBO, dog. You're not fucking Hulu. Like, or Tubi. Stars who be giving out the 50 Cent leak every season. And come on, man. HBO is wilding. I can't even go look at my House of the Dragon memes pages because I'm scared they might put some shit in there.
Yeah.
Shit sucks. I've been watching some TV since I've been under the weather the last few days, and some movies. So I watched If last night. That's the movie.
Friend.
Yeah, with Ryan Reynolds and the big purple guy.
Yeah, I wanted to see that.
It's pretty good, man. Like, it's not super young kid. So like, Ash wasn't into it, at 6, but it's probably good for EJ, for your girls. Maybe not the oldest, but yeah, definitely. It was pretty good. I also finished season 1 of The Bear yesterday. Watched the whole season yesterday. That was pretty dope. I finished
Unprisoned.
Unprisoned. Unprisoned was did you finish it?
Yep.
VP, you finished it?
No, I'm on I think I'm on episode 5 of the 2nd season.
Okay. So there's a couple more.
I'm not enjoying it as much as you guys.
Because you're from Miami.
I can understand that.
No, it's not that. I think what it is, like, I think it's a good show. I think the thing that's holding me back is that the Kerry Washington character is like
annoying as
fuck. It's the type of person that I don't like when I watch like reality TV. Like that black girl. Like, I even hate saying what I'm getting ready to say, but it's something
that's racist. He's so racist, Joe. Hold on, let me hit the record button.
Like, you know how like people say like the black person who acts white or whatever, and like her character, and I get it, like that's how her character is supposed to be because she was raised by white people and that kind of thing.
She plays that shit so well.
Yeah, she plays it so well, and that kind of character, that kind of person, when I see them on TV, it usually bothers me, and so I think that's what's really holding me back from liking the show as much, because the writing is good. I like the like the storyline and things like that. But it's her character that's like really throwing me off because she plays that role so well,
She does.
But I do like the dad, Lindo.
Delroy Lindo.
Delroy Lindo. He's doing a phenomenal job. in that thing, whatever. But I like
To
it
me,
overall. Uncle Jesse's character is funny too.
yeah. To me, Delroy is the one that makes it. Like personally, like I like
Hmm.
Carrie, but he's the one that makes it for me. It's just super real, super authentic.
Yeah,
He captures it great. And, the only downside is he looks like LeBron James, but that's about it.
he does look like LeBron.
A
He could be
lot.
LeBron's dad for
That's
real.
right. If there was
Mhm.
ever a LeBron documentary, we know who's playing his dad.
Yeah. So
Uh, I, and also I started Cobra Kai. EJ, last
Mhm.
season is out.
Yeah, I
This is
watched it.
you watched
It's
it
a
already?
yeah. It's a break. It's This is part one of the final
VP.
season.
This bitch ass don't be responding in chats, don't be setting up his computer, don't be showing up for the pod, but somehow got time to watch every single show that comes out on fucking TV.
oh man.
Sure, whatever you want to say. But
Crawled up in Auntie May's bed. That's why they be in there watching Cobra Kai, eating
I,
fucking
I,
them
I
little red
watched Cobra
strawberry
Kai.
candies.
Watched Cobra Kai with the girls, and yeah, this is
EJ
the
being there
first.
like aiming in the brothel.
Right,
you,
exactly.
you know it. You know it. First 6 episodes of Cobra Kai in final season, so it'll be interesting. It was a little predictable at the end, but it'll be
Oh, don't
interesting.
ruin it.
I
I'm on
watched
episode 3.
oh, okay. I watched Unprisoned as well. Um Batman has a new animated series that's really, really good on Prime. Really, really good. I'm surprised that they did the things that they're doing on it. Um yeah, I don't think I'm watching Mayor of Kingstown. Which is crazy. Just
I'm gonna
ridiculous
just. This is
show
the last
at this
season of
point.
Mayor of Kingstown, right? Or do they have one more?
I hope so. I hope so because it's unbelievable at this
I don't
point.
remember. I don't remember if they said this is the last one or if they have one more. But I'm gonna. I just figured I'm gonna just wait till it ends and watch it beginning to end.
Yeah, yeah. I hope it's the last one. And I think that's
Yeah.
it. There was something I thought I watched, but I
Oh,
can't.
there's another show you guys gotta watch. It's on Prime. I know both of you guys have Prime, right? Or some way to watch Prime stuff. Jury Duty.
Hmm.
I saw like a couple episodes of the first season of that. Or is this a new
Oh,
season, or are you talking about the
is there?
original season?
There's more than one season?
I don't know. I only watched the first couple episodes of when it first came out. It
No,
was
this
with
is on. I think this only has one season. I'm only on
okay.
episode 3, but it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I seen like the first 2, maybe 3 episodes or whatever. It kind of like it just seemed like I couldn't believe that these people don't realize this shit is
They're on
fake. I'm
TV.
like,
Yeah, I watched that. Yeah, yeah. I couldn't keep watching it. Nah. I like Sam Marsden though. He's
yeah, that's
funny.
what Marsden. Yeah,
Marsden, yeah, yeah.
It was
but
funny.
for me, man, I watched pretty much all the stuff that we talked about, HOD or Hot D. You guys are influencing me.
I don't. You
Uh,
can watch all the Hot D you want.
um,
Yo,
started Unprisoned. And I also checked out the Ghostbusters movie, the Frozen Empire or whatever,
I
Unfrozen,
couldn't.
whatever
I
it's
couldn't
called.
get through it, dog. I
Yeah,
tried it. I couldn't do it.
I didn't
I
like it.
fell asleep on that multiple times. I've had to watch it over 6 times.
Yeah,
Gave up.
and then also watching Big Brother, my reality show.
Mm.
That one this season's been kind of interesting, man. They got this lady on there, Angela, and I mean, if there was a definition of Karen, like
Oh,
she would be the picture of her in the dictionary. She's always crying and just I mean, this lady is like, wow, yo. She's like, how you watch those reality shows where you can vote people off, like sometimes the people get paranoid, and that's her. And she won the first head of household. So I know you don't watch the show, EJ, but like the premise is it's like a
No,
bunch
I
of people
watched it
going
before.
to okay. So she's the head of household. And so in the HOH room, they got a TV where they can like
Mhm.
flip through the cameras downstairs to kind of see what's happening.
Mhm.
And she up at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, watch like, okay, this person's talking to this person. I wonder what's happening. I don't think I could trust them. Like, it don't got no sound. All she sees is people talking. And she's like, oh, I don't know about that. And then so now she's not sleeping. She's paranoid. And then she just starts like going off on people.
Yo,
I'm like, yo, this chick
wow.
is crazy, yo. So
And
I forgot to mention. I did watch the Bad Boys joint too.
Oh, but Cedric
yeah.
is the head of household right now, right?
I haven't watched it. We should find out tonight. They just had the competition on Thursday.
Oh. I just Googled it.
Oh, okay.
I won't ruin it for you.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, my wife does. My wife watches all the those YouTube channels that are like dedicated to the show that kind of fills you in on what's happening on the live feeds and stuff. So she gives you the
Angela
play-by-play.
Murray.
I don't
Yeah,
know her
she
last
looked
name.
she looked like a Karen.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. Mackenzie look alright though.
Mackenzie. Oh yeah, Mackenzie. But she the one for you, Steve, is Leah.
I'll find her.
The reason why
for me,
because Leah says she calls herself chubby chaser. She was like, she don't like you guys that, you know, 6-pack and all that kind of stuff like that.
this nigga just backhand complimented me. I got one for you, fat boy.
Hey, I'm right there too. You know,
she's from Miami though.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
She owns her own business making underwear.
Yeah. He said, I got one for you.
She alright. Dang, I know I watched something else and I always forget the last thing, but VP, you still haven't seen whatchamacallit, right? Deadpool? No, he hasn't. I look forward to going to see that again. Seems to have pretty good reviews.
Yeah.
Let's see what it did the first week.
I'm pretty sure
I'm
pretty sure it did at least 3, maybe 400.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Wolverine alone has such an international market, and then even adding Deadpool. Like I know in Japan they were like driving around.
820 million worldwide.
The first week or so far?
Let's check Forbes.
I think it's only been a week, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Or if it's probably been like 10 days or something like that.
It says, okay, so it says it eyes at least. All right, okay, sorry, 630 the first week. That's still a lot.
Yeah,
630 first week, eyeing 820 worldwide by Sunday.
Especially because I'm pretty sure
biggest film of 2024.
Pretty sure it probably had a $200 million budget, so you already, you know,
dog. And Inside Out 2 made 1.5 billion already.
I gotta watch that. I haven't seen it yet. I
haven't been able to get in there. It's always full. Every theater is always full.
Out. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen, yo. Like Pixar, that's back when Pixar, before Disney got involved and started forcing them to focus on making sequels. And they should just make pure quality. Inside Out, Up. I watched Up. I was like, yo, how's this shit for kids? Yo, I'm about to fucking cry in here right now.
She was sad as a bitch. She was sad as shit.
Like, you can't be doing this to people, yo.
That shit was sad as shit.
Nah, they killed it. Pixar don't miss, yo.
They don't.
I didn't like Cars.
Huh?
Nah, Cars is fire.
Like Cars.
Cars is fire too. Cars
like
is
compared
fire.
to the other ones, I don't think like what I guess I'll put it this way. Like stuff like Inside Out, Up, like that was like pure cinema. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like Cars was a kids movie.
Nah, Cars is cinema too. Once you watch it a million times, eventually you start to see like there's a love story in there between him and old girl when he gets stuck in the town.
It's a lot going on.
It's a lot, and I
have to watch it again.
When the OG dies, there's a lot going on in Cars.
Oh, that shit was rough. I was like, yo, this is bullshit.
Cars was good.
I have to watch it again because I that was the one Pixar joint I wasn't really feeling that much.
Luca was fire. Did you guys ever see Elemental, the one that came out last year?
I like that. I liked it.
That's another one. That's another one that was I thought was pretty damn good.
I like. You know what?
Basically, I saw the main character as being black, like he was the black guy.
They made it like the whole underlying thing of it. EJ is like, you know, you got people, you got wind, water, earth, and fire. Yeah.
Okay.
It came out last year.
It's like it's
And
like
so,
acceptance. A lot of their shit is like acceptance, yo. If you
yeah,
really dive into it,
and so it's like a race thing where it's like,
Oh, I
you
did
know,
see it. I
yeah, elements don't mix
did
and
see
all
it.
that kind of
I
stuff.
did see it.
Yeah,
Yes, I
that
did
shit was
see it. That
dope.
was a good one.
I liked it a lot.
That
I
was a
liked it a
good
lot.
one. I did see it. I forgot I saw that one.
the one that they did
Ah,
miss on was planes. When they tried to make planes out of instead of cars,
I
that
don't
one,
remember
that
that at
one,
all.
that one missed.
I
That shit
didn't.
was
I'm gonna assume they missed on Planes because I didn't even watch that one because it didn't look like it was gonna
exactly.
be that good. So
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
even know about it.
'cause I didn't like Cars, and I'm like, I'm probably not gonna like Planes either. So let me just pass.
yeah, they
I
don't miss,
forgot
yo.
about Elemental. That was a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Elemental was pretty good. I didn't really dig Soul, but you have to dig Soul if you're black. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I
you
agree
have
with you. I didn't. It wasn't. Yeah, you're right. I
You
just
know
liked
who?
it because it was black.
You know who didn't like Soul? EJ. I remember when we talked about Soul on the pod when it came
Yeah,
out, and EJ was like, I distinctly remember EJ like, "Yo, we have to stop giving these movies their flowers just because they're
just
black,
because they're
and
black.
just like if they're bad, they're bad." You know what I mean?
Yo, I don't know which one of y'all are more racist, Joe. This shit is bad. I'm the
I
only
know. I
one.
know you ain't talking.
I
When
know.
you went years of saying you hate the smell of shea butter
Never said
and
that.
coconut oil.
Prove it.
Oh,
Go talk to
it's recorded.
go talk to your go talk to your line brothers. They probably think I'm blacker than you.
Oh, you was definitely black when you came to Baltimore. I don't know what it was.
I
I don't
play
know what got into you.
spades. Mm. Um,
Hey Steve, while you was up there, did you did you can't talk? Did you spend any time with the girls, with EJ's girls?
not really. Wait,
Oh,
Check-
okay.
what's this question first? His children
Because I
or like
yeah,
or
his
like
children.
his old girls?
No,
Thought
his
you meant
children.
like oh
His children. His
not
offspring.
really. Not
Oh,
really.
okay. I was just trying to see if you confirmed this cheerleader thing or whatever for why he be missing the pod.
Ain't not one cheerleader shit happened while we was up there. Nothing at all. This bullshit he be making up. He be lying. Them girls, they was in my godmother house eating cereal, watching TV,
Yeah, because we were not home.
playing
What do you
playing
mean?
Roblox. Uh,
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah. Kamala Harris. Let's see. Kayla Ledecky, Simone Biles, House of. I'm checking my my notes. Sunday from there. That's it. Yo, football's coming.
It's
Can't
here.
wait.
It's
Tyreek
here.
got a new deal. Dolphins restructured him.
I
They
wish
didn't,
you.
they just added money, not years. So
I wish you pushed up the keeper deadline. I'm interested to see what people gonna do for the keepers.
Steve already know who my keeper is.
I could look at it and tell you everybody's keeper before they even tell you.
Yeah.
A couple people got some good rosters. That early. They took early picks that they
Yeah.
can't keep. So
I know. Maybe we need
I
to
missed-
talk. Yeah, a lot of them can't be kept. Maybe
Yeah.
we
I
need to
missed
talk
on my
about
keeper last
waivers.
year. Because
Maybe
you
we need
guys
to
are
come
so
up.
unpredictable, yo. Like, yeah. Like, I mean, that's one thing I like about our league is that, like, it seems like most of us, pretty much know what we're doing for the most part, I would say. And so last year, I was like, oh, I'm gonna keep Sanders instead of Tua because I was like, nobody in our league even likes Tua, so he's gonna be available for me, so I don't gotta make him a keeper. And then somebody picked him up. I'm like, God damn it! And so I should have kept Tua last year.
I feel like I drafted very shitty last year because I'm as a person who played running back and other positions, I'm always leery about running backs every year, and I talk myself out of my original game plan every year because I'm like injuries. Something about that shit just bothers me, and I always talk myself out of the original game plan every year.
Yeah. For me, I mean, I go in thinking I'm gonna get a running back in the first round because I feel like running backs are just really important. Like, Steve has kind of sold me on this philosophy of, running backs are the only players that have plays designed for them. They're getting the ball, and it's their thing to do whatever they do. You know what I mean? Whereas receiver got to beat his man, you got to hope the quarterback sees him, throws it, throw him a good ball, blah blah blah.
Running
And so
backs are
that's why
team
I'm
proof.
right.
Running
And
backs
so that's why Yeah. So I believe like, oh, you got to get a running back early, but then you also got to go. You got to look at the. You got to. I was watching the last episode of the Giants portion of Hard Knocks last night, and when they were doing the draft, you hear the GM Joe Shane say, you got to let the board talk to you sometimes. You know what I mean? And so sometimes we be drafting, and I got the 9th pick, and I'm seeing receiver, and I'm like, oh, I want to get a running back. It's about to snake back around, and I'm like, I need to get a receiver because I gotta wait.
Be here.
I gotta wait 5 more picks before it snakes back to me, and I'm not gonna get a top receiver. So sometimes you gotta just let the board talk to you, man.
Yep, absolutely
Yeah.
right.
I think the popularity of fantasy football has gotten so high that it makes it harder now to be dominant in drafts because it's everywhere. Like you go into a store, you see fantasy football magazines, you turn on the TV, it used to only be fantasy football now on Sunday morning. Now there's fantasy shows almost every single day of the week. So
yeah,
it makes it a little more challenging, man.
Agree.
But we'll be on it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. Well, I'm just looking really quick at the medal count, and then we can get up on out of here. Let's double check it really quick. USA caught up. USA has 17 golds. China has 18 golds. France has 12. Australia has 12. Total medals, USA has 67. They're leading there. China 43, France 42, and then it falls off from there. But 18-17 on the gold front.
It's good. Yeah. And we should have had a goal. I mean, it should be tied, man. Shikari dropped the bag, yo.
I know, but old girl was just.
We should be leading. But I thought we were gonna get that goal with Shikari and that mixed relay.
That mixed relay, we were so far out in front.
That was it. That mixed relay was it. That was it.
The Netherlands, that chick, yo, she deserves, yo.
She
was running like a racist.
I was crying.
Yeah, she was fast.
Like she ran her down like the Terminator. I was crying, yo.
She's a beast.
Crazy. Yeah,
I am not mad at her. All right, well, that's all I got for
shot put. He's most people think he's gonna go if he hasn't already. The guy.
He golded already last night.
Okay, yeah. So so he made history then 3 times in a row.
Yeah, he golded, and then I guess the coach's husband is also on the team, and I think he bronzed.
Okay,
that last night.
Who's that?
Shot put. The shot put. Yeah.
Big corn fed motherfuckers.
Yeah, he big as shit. Pause.
I hated shot put. Yeah, shot put is fucking difficult.
How heavy is that ball? 5 pounds or is more?
I feel like it's a little more than 5. But I can't remember exactly. I remember how it feels. I don't know. Pause. I don't remember how heavy it actually was numerically, but I remember how it feels throwing that shit, and it is fucking difficult.
Damn it! This shit said it's 16 pounds.
Okay, well I was wrong. But that shit,
they throw a 16-pound ball at God,
like 50, yo, bro. It's and you got to think about the way you're doing it. You got the way that you're angling your throws and making sure you don't fall out, of the circle and everything, and just the technique that comes with that shit is all in your legs, yo. It's all in your legs.
Wow. Here come a rain band. We just had a men's 400 semi guy, American, win his heat. So, and he was way out in front. So, might be another one there. Somebody Norman, last name.
Okay.
We'll be watching, man.
Yeah,
we'll be watching, and then we have until next weekend before the men's basketball plays. France is in trouble because they lost to Germany. Germany looks great. The Wagner boys, that's because Franz just got paid. You guys still feel like after seeing Kevin Durant carrying the USA that they are not going to gold?
Well, I didn't say they weren't going to. I said I didn't think they were a lock.
And I wouldn't be and I said I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. So
yeah,
EJ said they might not medal.
So based on what I've seen so far, they look good. But also in the first couple of rounds, you're playing some of the lesser teams.
Yeah,
So
Sudan, South
right.
Sudan, Puerto Rico, but they did
So
play. They played Jokic's Serbia, but it's him. It's him and nobody. So
yeah,
whatever. We'll see. We'll keep watching and see how that goes. It looks
yeah.
like the women are. Do you guys think at all, by chance, and then we can get up out of here? Women's basketball. You think the WNBA can benefit by trying to get somebody? Like I was just watching that game, and there was a big girl that was playing for Germany. She, probably playing center for them, and she had amazing footwork, like on offense. WNBA should be trying to target some of them to kind of expand a little bit outside of the United States.
I think
I mean,
that's the premise for them wanting to get more teams
yeah,
because
I,
they can't keep so many people.
that's exactly where I was going to
Rounders
go. Is
getting
that
cut.
the league needs to expand first.
Mm-hmm. You see so many first
Yeah.
rounders getting cut, and they don't have the teams.
Yeah, and I think like something that I'm pretty sure like she doesn't even want to do anything like this, but like I think the league should like approach a person like Oprah, you know what I mean, and somebody who's rich enough but also has the kind of star power, and like have her do a team, you know what I mean, and LeBron has talked about wanting to be an owner when he retired, you know what I mean, like do something like that or whatever, but I think they need to expand the league before they start thinking about going to
overseas
to Europe and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, but essentially some of those players, to both of your points, some of those players are getting drafted. They just, again, to VP's point, when a team is kind of rounded out, they don't have anywhere to go, so they get cut. So I mean, the more teams you get, they're going to be expansion teams that's going to have a whole lot of first rounders, European people, international people, and they're going to be true startup teams like your Jacksonvilles of the back in the day.
Yeah.
So yeah,
like I think like the next 7 years they should try to add 4 teams to the league, like in the next 5 to 7 years.
Yeah, I think they're shooting for that like real soon.
Yeah, they should try to get 2 right now, 2 or 4 right now. I'll tell you one thing: 4 years from now, when my girl Juju make the team, the world is in trouble.
Juju gonna be probably in the WNBA in probably a year or 2.
No, I'm sorry, I meant the Olympics. 4 years when she plays in the Olympics.
Oh.
Yeah. She'll be in the league like next year maybe, or the year after she stays. But when she played for the Olympics, her and Caitlin together, it's gonna be some trouble.
It always
gonna be a problem.
It always makes me sad, man, because Gigi would have been in this class. Gigi would have been in this class. Killing.
Did you like the statue they made?
I didn't see it.
You know what? It came up on my timeline and I didn't click it.
I didn't really care for it.
Gigi would have been killing in this class, yo. Killing.
But you don't really like Kobe though. So
I just didn't. It's not that. I just didn't think it was done Kobe. Well.
Oh, I don't like that statue.
Yeah, you see.
I like the sentiment.
I like the sentiment. I just don't think the artistry was good.
It's almost like that. Remember when they did that Obama picture really bad?
Yeah.
Oh golly! Here you go, EJ. I'll hook you up so you come back.
And it's from the statue, EJ, is from a picture of Kobe and Gigi they were sitting courtside of the game.
Yeah.
And so that's where this is from.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, man.
I feel like they caught Gigi really well, but they could have done better. It's all good.
It's tragic, man. Tragic.
Yeah.
Tragic. Yeah. And what year did that happen again?
The statue?
No, they died.
Crash.
Oh, the photo?
21?
Yeah, I think that was 21. 21, 22. We were still like lockdown kind of
for the most part. 2020. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's crazy because I remember when that shit happened, like nobody believed it. Motherfuckers immediately was like, get the fuck out of here.
It felt, I think we potted
we did.
Right after.
It happened on Saturday and we potted on Sunday.
Yeah.
I think that, can you think of any other celebrity passing that's happened in our lifetime that was more like unbelievable or shocking?
Michael Jackson. Yes, absolutely. I can still tell you exactly where I was when I heard Michael Jackson died.
Michael Jackson. Yeah, you're right. Michael Jackson
Like
was a
it,
big one.
that's when I was going to college. I was at Valencia Community College, East Campus. I had just left class and I saw it was like it was a crowd of people behind one of the TVs, like in the hallway. I'm talking about like 60, 70 people. And like the TV was on CNN. And I'm thinking, like, what the fuck happened? You know, because I had just left class. And
Yeah.
I'm looking at the screen and it was on commercial. And it came back and the little breaking news banner came at the bottom and it said Michael Jackson was dead. And I was like, oh shit. And I called my wife and I'm like, yo, she was like, I'm watching it right now. I hauled that, this is back when I could still walk. I hauled that to the parking lot, jumped in my car. And I didn't live far from the campus. I was like 5 minutes from the campus. Hauled that home so I can watch. And I had the radio on, listening in the car, the little, 5 minutes I'm in the car. And I watched CNN all night from the moment I got home until I went to bed, and then the next day, all day, like listening to news on the radio while I was at work, CNN when I got home. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was in 09 Jordan. Michael Jackson passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody expected that.
Yeah.
You're right. That's another one that caught people off guard. Yeah. All right. Well, rest in peace to them and anybody else that was lost. That's it, man. That's it. It's raining over here. My stomach is hurting. I need to give me some Pepto or something.
Steve stopped at a gas station for Pepto in Baltimore. I thought this man was bullshitting.
He thought I'd be playing. It's my life, yo. This is my life. He had to make an emergency stop off the highway before he could get to his house. I was like, yo, you don't have to, but you got to shop vac at home because I'm about to shit all in your passenger seat. I was about to lose the battle.
Yeah, what did the dude ask you at the gas station for?
It had to do with cigarettes.
Pack,
yeah. Right? He asked me for a pack of cigarettes. Yo, they crazy up there, yo. The homeless dude was like, I know you're gonna say no. Right? I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, did you buy me a pack of cigarettes? Nigga, what? What happened? You don't want 50 cents? Some extra change? Like, did you buy me a pack of cigarettes? No. Get the fuck out of here. I'm saving your life, yo. You want a water? I'll get you a
I knew I have the right mentality because I got approached by a homeless guy like that before. And he told me straight up, like, hey, man, I need to get something to drink, man. Like, he ain't come, but I need food, my kids and stuff. And I was like, yo, I respect the honesty. So I gave him $3 so he can get a beer.
Yeah, but a pack of bogeys is like $10.
I be forgetting how much cigarettes cost now, yo. Like,
ain't a quarter no more.
Right.
That's hilarious.
It was hilarious. He was a wild boy.
I know you're gonna say no.
They didn't even ask me. They didn't even ask me, bro.
Because he looked at he like he from around here. Let me talk to this other dude.
I'm like, what?
Let me talk to the other one. Oh my god.
Hilarious.
Get out of my face.
You couldn't get him a Lucy, Steve?
Ain't nobody got time for no Lucy's. And it was a gas station. Gas station don't sell. And no, I'm saving your life. You want a bottle of water, some gum? I got you.
Oh man.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
A pack of cigarettes. Fuck out of here. Other lady down here, I think I told y'all, the lady down here in Florida the other day was like, hey, you got a couple dollars? Bitch, what? What happened? I get inflation is a thing. I get it. But you can't be inflating on panhandling. Like, you can't inflate begging. Nah, dog. Keep it moving. Man. Don't ask me for shit. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look in my pocket. If I got extra money, you can have all the extra money I got.
Right.
Stupid ass. All right.
Hilarious.
That's all I got, man. Shout out to Simone Biles. She still has the whatchamacallit event left, right?
Floor.
Yeah. So hopefully she gets that. My girl Kayla Decky. Shout
I
out
think
to
they have.
her.
I think they have beam too, right? I don't think they've done individual beam yet either. Balance
They
beam.
have not. They have. That's when I was talking about the beam.
Okay, yeah. So she still has individual beam and floor.
All right, 2 more goals. Let's go. And Suni Lee, man. Shout out to her.
Yeah, I think
She's-
Suni Lee will be on floor. I don't think she's. I think it'll be the one who is really good at beam is the black
Suni
one.
Lee, I probably have her on
Charles.
floor too. So, oh. Yeah.
So I think in beam we'll get Simone and then Charles. I believe, and then on floor I think it'll be Biles and Suni more than likely.
Shout out to Suni, man. She went. Apparently, she had some surgeries that she had.
Yeah, I think it was like her ACL or something like that. She jacked up back in the day.
No, it was something big.
Oh. No, I'm thinking about the Brazilian girl. That's one with the ACLs. The Brazilian girl.
I knew exactly what this fool was talking about.
No, yeah, Suni Lee got kidney disease. She had kidney disease.
Oh wow.
Yeah, prior to coming back. Yeah, she was dealing with kidney disease. So yeah.
I thought you were talking about something else.
No, 2 kidney diagnoses that she had. So for her to come on back like that,
be that young dealing with that kind of shit.
For real.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Tell her to drink more water or less water. Fuck do I know? But keep winning. Keep winning. Keep doing it for America.
Merc.
Yeah, man. All right, man. That's it. That's all I got, VP. You can go ahead and take us up out of here. Oh, Chorus. That was the guy. They just showed the shot put. The guy that got actually he got silver. So we went gold silver. Yeah, we went gold silver.
Oh, you talking about the guy who's like the
coach's husband. No, the guy that won. Yeah, he went 3 in a row.
Oh, the shot put guy got a female husband. I mean, got a female husband. Got a female coach.
Yes.
Oh wow!
Imagine that.
She must know what the hell she doing. Because I mean, that's not
female shot.
I mean, I know. Yeah. No, I know they do it, but like you would think like they're not doing it on the same level.
She probably got extra. She probably got extra chromosomes.
All technique, man. All technique.
She's good with big balls.
Technique.
That's what's up. This guy.
Those who can't do teach, dog.
I told you I was watching that the Hard Knocks joint, the Giants, and the one they got one female scout. And so, I was like, she must know what the hell she's doing to be a male dominated league. So all the scouts except you. Oh.
That's what happened.
I can't. It's like me looking at a Marine like he's gonna be a good Marine because he's got a good shot. And I don't know what it takes to be. I never lace boots, I can't. I don't see how you could look at and I don't know, never played the game at that level. I don't know. I mean, but there's probably a lot of scouts that haven't, but I know a majority of them have. But I don't know.
I would imagine EJ that is difficult, but it probably takes more work. Like for you play, so you know what to look for in footwork and that kind of thing like that. Whereas this person, they got to learn it. You know what I mean? And then once you got it, you probably got it. Like, I remember when you were shocked when I told you that Charlie Weiss never played football, and this dude rose all the way up to become a head coach, and he never was a football player.
Oh man,
yeah,
Quincy's getting caught.
I was yeah. I was very shocked by that to a degree.
He fell in love with football and when he was in college, he was Joe Montana's roommate, and so he just talked about football a lot and fell in love with it.
But the other caveat to that I wasn't shocked about is because I think he's one of the shittiest coaches in the world. So it kind of confirmed my feeling. So I wasn't shocked about that piece. I was like, oh, aha, explains everything.
Oh, we just had another American win his heat for the 400 men's. That 400 men's gonna have 3 Americans so far.
400's wild. I'm good.
Mhm.
I'm good, dog. Not running. Jonathan Majors should get into the Olympics though.
Wait, what?
Jonathan Majors, he ran that New York City block in record time.
That's true. That was probably 100 meters.
In some dress boots, probably. Because you know how he dressed.
And if he's in the Olympics, he'd probably be getting chased by a bunch of white people. All right. VP. This motherfucker. I swear, it's always something with him, yo. He's a DEI hire, in case y'all didn't realize. That's why we got him.
Yeah. Stupid, yo.
I had to meet a quota. That's why VP is here. All right. Well, since he can't do the job, shout out to everybody listening today. In the words of the great VP, make sure you pick up that phone and call your loved ones because you don't know what they're going through. Tomorrow's not promised for everybody. He would say you should be aware of your policy and stop reading your political news on social media. Just make sure you're informed and pay attention. Shout out to LeBron James and the American men. And, for everybody else, we out. We love you. Peace. That's how VP would end it. So, again, you can find us anywhere you find your podcast. Start with Spotify, start with Apple Podcasts. Those are the 2 most common. Find us on YouTube if you want the video. Videos will be up on Spotify soon come, but I think you have to be on the desktop version for that. Otherwise, we'll be back next Sunday as normal for the regular scheduled 9 a.m. start. That will probably not start until about 10:30-ish, depending on when these guys roll out of bed. Otherwise, have a great week. We'll talk about House of the Dragon next week. And here's to a great finale. Peace.